Yeah. What's popping? What's good, everybody, man? Welcome back. You already know what it is. We in the building, heart of the city, man. 24th edition. You know what it is. Going strong, going hard, man. What's good though? What's good, man? Got two hosts up here tonight, man. Coach Ed can't be with us right now, but my man Super Taj holding it down, man. You see, he got the Lakers hat on, so that's what we're gonna get started at, man. Right there, man. With the basketball, with the game, things heating up in the NBA right now, man. Let's go. So Jeffy T, man, always in the building, my man, holding it down, man. What's good with y'all two brothers, man? How y'all feeling tonight?
Feeling good, feeling proud, feeling loud, ready to talk some New York and tri-state sports.
Word,
go,
word.
man.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah, I'm feeling good too, man. You know what I mean? You already know I'm watching this game tonight. Hopefully the Lakers, can handle business in New York.
Yeah, man. They might just do that, man. But
after that, we took that L against y'all, so
they was not able to do that the other night, man, with the Lakers, man. And the Nets, man. So Lakers coming in tonight, man. Got LeBron James going. They did not have LeBron James, and they just took the L, last night, man. 121-104, man. Now it was kind of close there for a little bit, man. I mean, the third quarter, man, things was kind of getting a little rocky there, man. But I mean, my man Patty Mills came on strong. Day'Ron Sharp, Cam Thomas, man. These guys, man, off the bench, man, showing up, man. Second unit, man, doing good things for the Lakers, man. Let me shout out my chat, though, man. Yo, Tommy, what's good, man? What's good, man? Peace, man. What's good, man? We on right now, man. You know what I'm saying? So pull up. Wifey, what's good? What's good? Says peace, everyone.
Congratulations to your Eagles, DC.
Here go another E. They gonna be strong in the chat tonight, boy.
What's up, Randy? Oh, the God, they are.
What's good?
I'm gonna say something that's gonna make everybody want to jump on me later. That when we talk football.
All right. What's good, Breezy? What's good, man?
Hey, Breezy.
Yeah, man. What's good, man? Pull up, man. We about to go in, man. Talk Nets, man.
Your boy Cam Thomas, man. Your boy
set it
Cam
off with
Thomas
the Nets tonight, man. You know what I'm saying? Let me give you the link.
You're welcome, DC. Terrific job by them. They played a hell of a game, even though it was against the backup quarterback.
That's
kidding.
That's for Breezy right there, man. Hit that link, Breezy. Come up, man. We're gonna talk ball, man. For real, man. But yo, how was you feeling about that game last night, Jeff, man? You know what I'm saying? Cause hey, man, Cam Thomas looking good. Day'Ron Sharp, man. Two players that are hot in trade rumors right now, man. But both players coming up strong, man. Another player coming up big that's been involved in trade rumors, man. That's Patty Mills, man. You know what I'm saying? A resurgence there of some sort, man. You know what I'm saying? So that's what's up, man. We had a lot of Lakers fans, not my man Taj, man. That's my bro, man. But a lot of other Laker fans, man, was really going strong, man, about how trash this Nets team was, man. And I'm just wondering, hey, we did this with no KD, no Ben Simmons. You know what I'm saying? Pretty much playing most of the backup guys in Cam Thomas and
Mm-hmm.
Day'Ron Sharp.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it to me it was fair and square, man. Outside of having Kyrie Irving and
Yeah,
Nicholas Claxton, but those guys, man, didn't. I mean, Kyrie, he gonna score, man, but Clax, man, he did most of his damage on the rebounding end, man. But man, I was excited, man, to see them beat the Lakers, man. Especially after hearing some of these Laker fans puff their chests out, man. You know who I'm talking about, Breezy.
Yeah,
But
The hell do they got to puff their chests about the last
I
couple of
don't know,
years?
man. I don't know either, man.
they,
But
hey
they,
man, even I thought that y'all was gonna win the game to win. Then when I saw the notification saying that LeBron and AD are not playing, I'm like, yeah, like y'all could win that game.
yeah, they were saving them for the Knicks because they knew they had a better
Yeah,
chance of beating them.
Yeah.
hmm yeah, they smart for that, I guess. But Jacques Vaughn, he got a no excuses thing where he don't want to lose none of those back to back games. His post game interviews are pure gold, man. You
Mhm.
know, I advise y'all to check out his post game interviews. Shout to the panel. I see your wife up here. Shout to DC. Shout to Ken. Shout to NYG Jeffy. Shout to that's not coach, right?
Nah,
Nice.
coach is off tonight. We got my man Super Taj, man.
Hold up, Super
That's my
what up?
Todd.
man Taj, man, from the Big Blue Crew, man. You know what I'm
What up,
Mm-hmm.
saying?
Breezy?
We call him the hardest
Yo,
working man on Twitter, man.
Yes.
You
what up?
Big time Giants fan
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
already know.
I thought we were 5-16 out of 21 games. We already got 4 wins out of 10. I think we're gonna be better than we were without Kevin Durant last year. I see us going 8-12 minimum in 21. Well, 9-12 minimum in 21 games. But I think we're gonna be a 500 ball club or better. It was really good seeing Cam Thomas and Day'Ron Sharp play well, especially Day'Ron Sharp more than Cam Thomas because we always asking for a big man, and
Mhm.
Day'Ron Sharp had 8 offensive rebounds. So I
Mm-hmm.
He
mean,
was doing
even
damage.
right, even with the piece, whoever it is that we'll get for the Brooklyn Nets to help Nick Claxton, is he going to get 8 offensive rebounds? He's in crashing the glass like Day'Ron Sharp. Like, I don't want to see Day'Ron Sharp minutes get took. I think Day'Ron Sharp, respectfully, took Ben Simmons minutes. Like, in
Mm,
my opinion, he's making Ben Simmons more and more irrelevant the better he
mm,
plays. And I think he deserves Ben Simmons minutes. You know what I mean? And he's not a person that needs the ball. There was one game he scored 6 points and they were all putbacks. You know what I'm saying?
mm,
He had 3 putbacks. He had 3 offensive boards. And he had 6 points. He's a gritty player, and he's more the identity of the Brooklyn Nets. And I like Nick. I mean, I like Nick Claxton and Day'Ron Sharp on the floor at the same time. I heard the coach Jacques Vaughn say in the post game interview that he played 11 players in the first half, and he said he did that because he needs his players to stay ready. He don't need them to get ready. He need them to stay ready.
mhm,
And he took his hat off to Patty Mills for always being a professional, and
Mm-hmm.
that's in and out the locker room. Just his work ethic, and for him, he's like, yo, for him to have a work ethic like that, it goes over well with the young guys because Patty ain't got nothing to prove. He's a NBA championship. He got an NBA championship. He won with his country and for like Australia. But he still brings that professionalism every day, and he spoke highly about JV. And I think Patty Mills is setting the tone far as professionalism is concerned with the rest of the Brooklyn Nets, the young guys on the team. So I like the fact that we 4-6, and I know they kind of shy to give Kyrie that 4 years, 200 mil. I think the front office and the fans differ right there. I think the fans want Kyrie to come back. The front office,
mhm,
I can't speak for the front office. I speak more for the fans than the front office. I don't know what the front office wants to do with Kyrie Irving, but right now he's playing at an all-star level, and the bench scored 66 points. Man, I'm with
Mm-hmm.
keeping this group
mm,
together and adding a sign a guy. I don't want to trade any pieces that we got. I do want to sign a big man, maybe a Cousins or someone, man, but I don't want to
okay,
do a trade where we lose a lot of the bench help that we have. I want to
mhm.
keep these guys together.
That's fair, man. Peace and love, Levance, man. Peace, man. Appreciate y'all pulling up, man. This was a little bit of a late show, late start, man. But man, we're gonna get it in, man. We got a lot to cover tonight, man. You know what I'm saying, man? I'm gonna kick it over to Jeff, man. What's your thoughts, man? Tell me how you feel about the play of my man Royce O'Neal, man. Holding it down, man, with Ben Simmons being out the lineup.
I mean, the thing about Royce O'Neal that I really likes is he has that ability to knock down the outside shot, which Ben Simmons, you're not going to get that reliably from him. Like Breezy just says, Ben Simmons is a guy that's going to just try to he's going to pretty much be a guy when he wants to, and when he wants to play aggressive, he'll drive to the basket, maybe get a couple of those little hook shots near the rim, or maybe get some of those baskets off the backboard. Royce O'Neal gives you that 3-point shooting that the Nets are looking for on the outside, and he gives you more range as well. And he could play maybe not to the elite level that Ben Simmons could play on the defensive side, but he could play pretty close to it. So, I mean, Royce O'Neal just gives you that different dynamic on the outside in terms of a shooter aspect compared to what Ben Simmons can give you. Simmons is pretty much just like whatever offense you get from Simmons, you'll take it at this point. He's more of a facilitator, a rebounder a little bit, and even a guy that can play good defense. Royce O'Neal can play maybe like some of those games, those aspects of his game are not as strong as Simmons, but he could do an admirable job. And the shooting, I mean, you need a guy out there that's not afraid to shoot the ball from, a 16, 18-foot range or as well the three-point line. That's exactly what Royce O'Neal can do. He can light it up on any given night. Royce O'Neal can maybe score 3, 4, 5 points a game. But when he's on, he's a guy that could also put in about 20 points, like Patty Mills, like Joe Harris, Seth Curry, Cam Thomas. And that's the one thing about this team. And I'm like on the fence. I understand where Breezy's coming from. I kind of want to keep this team together because the depth reasons, and I think this team's depth is still a lot stronger where it was. But these guys are so goddamn inconsistent from game in and game out. It's like one night, Day'Ron Sharp might go out, have 8 offensive rebounds, 14 rebounds a game, 8 points. And then the next night, he's either not playing or he's like not putting anything on the stat sheet. He did have 5 personal fouls too. So like Claxton, he's got to watch out in terms of foul trouble. So, and the same thing with Cam Thomas. Cam Thomas could go out there and light it up on the scoreboard. And then the next night, he's just keeps doing nothing. So it's like these guys are so inconsistent, so hit and miss on a game in and game out basis. So it's like hard for me to trust these guys to
but they don't get consistent minutes. They don't get consistent minutes either. Yeah,
it's the matchups. That's why it depends on the matchups and the opponent that they're playing against. So that has a part of the reason to it, and it's also about trust. Does Jacques Vaughn trust these guys to be able to go out there consistently and be able to provide the type of production that he's looking for from their role players and from their bench guys? When the starters need a little bit of a breather. And I want to touch a little base on the Kyrie situation. I think the reason why they're not negotiating on a new deal yet with Kyrie Irving, I think they want to see if this guy could, A, prove he could stay healthy all season, B, keep himself out of trouble, because we all know Kyrie Irving, it could happen anytime with this guy. Something fluky out of nowhere could come up with Kyrie, and then all of a sudden he's like out, he's missing games. And also keep up his high-quality production. I think they're trying to see if they could trust Kyrie for the rest of the season, health-wise, and to make sure nothing out of the ordinary happens with him. And then if they end up going on some type of run, like an Eastern Conference final, NBA Finals, or what we all would love to see, an NBA championship, then I think you might see Kyrie Irving get an extension. But I think right now it's just the trust factor with the front office that they want to see with Kyrie for the rest of the season. If he could check off all those, I think they will give him his contract extension, because Durant wants that. He probably wants Kyrie here for the duration of when Durant's contract is going to expire. So in terms of that, I think more with Irving, it's more of a trust thing that the front office, Joe Tsai, Sean Marks want to have with Irving for the majority of the rest of this season.
1 degree. Damn.
That's disgusting, bro. What's on the menu, by the way, Levance? What's on the menu, bro?
Right, where you at?
You're not in Jersey, are you?
Can't be at Jersey. 1 degree.
It's 1 degree. It's like 20 or 30 or something.
What's good, Wells? What's good, man? What's popping, man? Appreciate you popping in, man.
Hey, Wells.
As y'all see, Knicks down 3 in the fourth start of the fourth quarter to the Los Angeles Lakers, man. So
That's what I'm talking about.
like I said, they saved their best for the Knicks, man, which is good, man. You know what I'm saying? But
Is AD playing?
Yeah, he
AD
playing.
is playing
Everybody
and
playing.
KD. Yeah, they held both of them out for the New
LeBron
York
and
Knicks,
AD, yeah.
man.
Okay.
Yeah. Speaking of the Knicks, the Nets actually beat the Knicks.
That was beautiful.
They always do.
That was beautiful.
Saturday for their ninth straight win. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been pretty impressed with this Nets team, able to handle business against teams that you should win, you should beat,
Mhm.
man. But Kyrie, man, that's the conundrum here. Breezy, you spoke on it a little bit, Jeff. What to do with Kyrie, man? I mean, I personally want Kyrie back, man. I think Kyrie, to me, he has he has a Brooklyn feel. Like it's
He's a
that
Jersey guy.
I think that guy this is home, right? So I just that's how I feel about it, man. He's a great player. He's when he's on the court, when he's right, when he's into it. You know what I'm saying? You got the coach for him, Jacques Vaughn. He's got these guys motivated, man. You see these guys are fired up, man. Shout out to you once again, Breezy, for calling that, man. But
Mhm.
yeah, man, these guys are getting contributions, man, from Watanabe, Curry, Patty Mills, all from 3-point line.
Mhm.
So to me, that is the question. Do you stay pat or do you make a move to try to chase Boston? Now speaking of Boston, we got them tomorrow night, 7:30 p.m. So what's your thoughts on Boston, Jeff, man? Then we'll go over to Breezy and then we'll check in on Taj and the Lakers.
Besides the fact I can't stand them and I'm sick of losing them because like we own the Knicks. The Celtics have beaten us like the last 8, 9 times. So I'm so sick of losing to this damn team. I know Marcus Smart is not going to play.
They
I
said
believe
South of Montreal. Oof.
Robert
Said
Williams is
they
questionable, so we might get a little bit of relief. So I know Simmons and T.J. Warren are not playing; they've already been ruled out. So
Yeah.
those guys are not playing tomorrow. So you're going to still see, Harris, Curry, O'Neal, Claxton, and Irving as the starting lineup. So you're pretty much probably going to get on Wednesday night what you got on Monday night. So we'll have to wait and see if these guys can step up their game for 2 games in a row. But Boston's just playing like a well-oiled machine. I mean, they just continue to go out there and play good, solid team basketball. Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, you could argue that these are 2 of the top 10, 15 players in the NBA, the way they keep playing. I mean, Malcolm Brogdon has turned out to be a big-time acquisition for them in that second unit as a 6th man. The production that he's been able to throw out there from the three-point line, facilitating the
Yeah,
basketball,
man.
defensively, he's been a big pickup for that team. And that's where I'm a little bit not wanting to stand pat because Boston could have stand pat and they still were a good team. But they said, you know what? We want to go for it. And what did they do? Last season, they traded for Derek White and Al Horford and it led them to an Eastern Conference Finals. And then this year, they didn't feel like they were good enough. They went out there and got a Malcolm Brogdon. So as much as I like this team and I want to keep them the way they are, I would not be opposed because you have to think about the teams ahead of you. And right now, are we confident that this team, as currently constructed, and we talked about this before, NYG and Breezy, are you confident that this team right now, currently constructed, can compete with a Boston, a Milwaukee, a Philadelphia, these top-ranked teams that are very, very big, it's when it comes to size, rebounding, inside the post, depth on their roster. Can we be able to consistently compete with these teams on a night in and night out basis with the roster that we have and as inconsistent as these guys are? Because Boston's the team. We have to try to get over that hump if we want to go to where we want to be. And it's got to be, we got to find a way to overcome Boston. So
Mm.
tomorrow night is going to be a very interesting test, and they're going to be missing some players. We're going to be missing some players. We gotta eventually beat this team. We got to overcome the mountain known as the Boston Celtics.
What you think about that, Breezy, man? What you think about this upcoming matchup with the Celtics, man? And can this team currently constructed not only Boston, but think about the teams in the West. You're talking about teams like the Nuggets, you know what I'm saying? Memphis, you know what I'm saying? So like can you compete with those teams as well as the teams in your own which we know they can play with the teams in the East, but it's more really about Boston, maybe Milwaukee to a degree. What you think about that, man? Breezy.
I think the true test is now. You know how we compete in this stretch without Kevin Durant. We got some
Mhm.
tough games up ahead. We got the Celtics and Milwaukee and a few other tough teams up ahead. Um, I would love to revisit this conversation next Tuesday as well. But what I will say
Mhm.
is what Jock Vaughn did is implement shooting the three ball more. We shot it 40 times the versus the Knicks, and we were 20 for 42, and we were 16 for 41 versus the Lakers. So I heard, and I heard Jock Vaughn say that when KD was on the roster, we were 12th in 3-point percentage. We went up to we're eighth now. We're in the top 10. So we've taken more threes, but we hit more threes. So guys like Wasabi Watanabe, against Seth Curry, again is my unpopular opinion about what the best deal in the trade was. We traded contract for contract with Harden and Simmons, but the real bonus coming to the team is Seth Curry being next to Kyrie Irving. You know, they play
Yeah,
a year.
I
They played
agree.
yeah, they
they play a
cooking.
year. They played the year of basketball together at Duke. So they've been teammates before, so they have some type of chemistry. So when we think about the roster, one of the things that I like to say is above talent sometimes is the chemistry. You got Cam Thomas get in the post game interviews. They asking him questions about Day'Ron Sharp, like, "Yo, I know Day'Ron Sharp is your boy. What you thought about how he played tonight?" That's how they talk to Cam Thomas. You know what I'm saying? Cam Thomas, I want to see Cam Thomas and Day'Ron Sharp stay together and play together. I think they could win together. That being said, I just give the edge to chemistry and teammates having experience opposed to a player that might be better than Day'Ron Sharp. But then when I ask about these pieces, Nets fans, I ask like, okay, what pieces and what pieces are you willing to give up to get this piece? And I'm saying that to say these pieces are supposed to help us with teams like Milwaukee, Boston, Denver, and on the West. You know what I'm saying? Some of the bigger
Mm-hmm.
teams in the front court. Um, and I agree, a piece like Nas Reed will help us, but I'm not willing to come off of chemistry with Cam Thomas and Day'Ron Sharp for a player that might be better than Day'Ron Sharp and Nas Reed, which he might be better, right now in his career. And I won't
Mm-hmm.
debate. I won't debate that. I think he's a great piece. I just don't want to give up a lot to get him. And I think that with Jacques Vaughn's style of coaching, making defense a priority and playing to the strengths of his players. Since Kevin
Yeah.
Durant is not there, he kind of said, all right, everybody don't got a mid-range like Kevin Durant, so let's change up the offense a little bit. And he did that. So my thing is him catering to the players, not catering, I think that's a wrong word, but definitely playing to the strengths of what the roster is why I peg him a good coach. We 4-6, easily could have been 500 without Kevin Durant. In these next 10 games, you know how me and you do the and me and NYG 22, we do the 10-game recap sometime. I think in these
Yes.
next 10 games is going to give us a lot of identity and character of who we are as a team. And I see us going 6-4 in this next 10. 6-4 or 7-3. That's my honest
Mm-hmm.
prediction without me being a fan.
Mm.
Just because I
So
feel like
you say
the
6-4,
or 7-3, yeah.
7-3 in the next 10 games.
Mm-hmm. I
Okay.
think so.
And how many of those are gonna be with Kevin Durant?
None of them. And the reason why I say that is because the first 4 games we lost, I feel like Ben Simmons was an instrumental part of our team and winning and losing. We expected him to take more drives because Kevin Durant wasn't there. We expected him to play better defense. I watch him at the rim on the defensive side of the ball. He doesn't jump to block anything. His defense is on a perimeter, and if he's not playing perimeter defense, he's good on the switch, but he's not a defender in the paint helping Nick Claxton grab rebounds at a level where I could say I'm confident that he has help and we don't need another big man. I think Ben Simmons was supposed to be that other big man. You know what I mean? He is
Mhm.
6'10". You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's the problem. That's the
Right.
problem right there. It's Ben Simmons, man. It's Ben freaking Simmons, man. What's good, King Jers, man?
Hey,
What's
King
good,
Jers.
man?
Ben Simmons
Um,
plays is like
What's going on,
6'2".
King
Lakers 101-96, man. Taj, what's going on over there with the in the Knicks Laker game, man? It's heart of the city, man. Y'all hit that like button, man. You know what I'm saying? Got my man Taj up here, man. Big LeBron James fan, man. What's going on with LeBron James and the Lakers, man? Tell me
Yeah,
what they doing to the Knicks out there in Madison Square Garden.
we still holding it down. Still just quiet down the crowd.
Hmm.
Before anything happens. Like yeah, like we're still just just holding it down here. Just try to get this dub.
Word. Quick point update. Looks like Jalen Brunson has 26 points. Leading the Knicks right now. Leading the Lakers. Is LeBron James and Anthony Davis both with 20, and the new addition Hachimura. That's how you pronounce his name.
Roy
Yeah,
Um,
Hachimura.
Hachimura.
for the
Yeah.
Wizards. Yeah,
19. Yeah. So he's
He's not
playing pretty well.
bad.
He played well against us the other night, man. But
Yeah.
yeah, man, I'm with you, King Jers. Ben Simmons is not an alpha player,
Telling
man.
you, the guy plays like he's a six.
yeah,
He plays like he's 6 foot instead of 6'10". He doesn't have that aggressive mindset that you need.
he just doesn't have that that kind of mentality. Like he
Yeah.
being like it's been showing in Philly, of course. Like he's just
hmm
like not that guy.
Hmm.
Yeah, he was
Yeah,
totally
man.
psyched out during that game.
Yeah.
We're gonna keep an eye on this Laker game, man. And we're gonna continue to get into the to the Knicks, man, the Nets, man. But I just want to shout out, man. Go Travels, man. If you're looking to travel, man, if you're looking to go see the world, if you're looking to catch the game, catch the Super Bowl, catch March Madness. Got a lot of things going on coming up here. Also, man, go shout out, man, to Shadow World, man, radio, man. Go check out Shadow World's radio, man, and go check out Wise Consulting Solutions, man. Get your credit right, man. Get your credit right, man, so you can get that car, man, so you can get that house, so you can ball out, man. All links to my sponsors will be in the description. But let's get into a little football here, man.
What's going on too though?
While we keep an eye
Hey,
on the Lakers
Tudo.
Knicks game, and then we'll come back to the basketball once the game is over, man. They're in the fourth quarter right now. So Tudo, what's good, man? Master salutes and respects to all my brothers, Kenny, Taj, Jeffy Wells, Levance, King Jers, Tommy Breezy, and Miss Wise. Salute Tudo. Yeah, man.
Salute
Let's
to
get
you too,
into
Tudo.
let's get into the New York Giants, man. Lot going on, man. Lot going on with Mike Kafka and Wink Martindale, man. Only 2 spots left. Coaching wise, that is the Colts and the Cardinals, if I'm not mistaken, right? Um,
Yes.
those are the only 2 spots
The
left.
Broncos
So
are such a stupid team. They're so. What is wrong with that organization? They traded
Shout
3 first-round picks and 3 second-round picks for Russell Wilson and Sean Payton.
pretty good, ain't it?
Yeah.
Glad we're not them.
Oh
Hey,
my
Glad.
shout out to D'Amico Ryans, man. Getting that Texans
Yes.
job, man.
Yeah,
Yes.
man. Salute,
Well
man.
deserved.
salute to D'Amico
I
Ryans,
do it for the
but
black community, man. Let's go. Like we gotta give these these people some opportunities,
the
man.
Texans can't fire him though. You know what I'm saying? What's
Yeah, it
good in getting
can.
these guys jobs, man, and giving them opportunities, man, and you just take around and fire them after one season, man. They didn't done this twice in a row, man. Somebody,
Yeah.
somebody need to hold that franchise, man,
Probably two
accountable,
straight
man.
black head coaches.
Right, man.
Too.
That held your franchise down, your shit squad. You know what I'm saying? That roster is not great at all, man. We played this team, we dominated them.
Yeah.
So they're
Allen's a
not good.
clown.
They're not good, man. But Lovie Smith did his best. So did Cully, man. So did
Yes.
Cully, man.
Yes.
But D'Amico Ryans, man, salute, man. Salute to D'Amico Ryans, man.
If they give him
But
time, man, he can be good for them.
He's got talent to
I
work with
think-
on that defense too.
yeah, and they got a high pick, man, and they probably gonna take Bryce Young. They probably gonna take Bryce Young because I think they're gonna take Bryce Young because that's the safe pick for them. You know what I'm saying? Like that is the safe pick at quarterback because they could go defense and try to build a dominant defense, which wouldn't be bad because in their division, it's not them offenses ain't gauntlets. Look at the Colts and the Jacksonville is coming on a little bit, man. But the Titans they fell off. So yeah, man, they could do that. They could go that route, man. And you got
I think they're going Stroud. I think they're taking Stroud.
You think they taking Stroud? I
Yeah,
know
I
they
think they're
taking a quarterback.
Stroud.
Regardless or not, I know they taking a quarterback.
I'm not really a big fan of Bryce Young like that. I'm gonna be honest.
Nah.
I'm not a fan either.
It all depends on who they hire as their offensive coordinator and what type of offense they want to run might determine on the quarterback that they decide to look at in the NFL draft. So, yeah, I saw that, Jers.
The wide receivers are slow. So
excuse me.
JJ Watt might coach with D'Amico. That'd be
That'd
good.
be awesome.
That'd be great, man. Well says, do you think it's a done deal that DJ and Barkley will be back next year? Any chance of them playing for another team?
Let's go, Russ.
It's a chance Barkley plays for another team. Daniel Jones, I don't think there's no way that that the Giants are going to let Daniel Jones walk. They will be in a position where they chasing the quarterback position. That makes your team desperate. Look at Jeffrey said the Broncos.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I was listening
to I was listening to Big Blue Kickoff a little bit earlier, and Paul Dottino pretty much believes that there's like a 0.1 chance that Jones and Barkley are not going to be Giants. Like he thinks that both of them are definitely going to be Giants.
I think so too.
Jones is like 100%. He's not going anywhere. Barkley, I can see
there
like
is a chance
60-40, 70-30.
I think there's a chance they transition tag him though,
Jones
just in case. Barkley, and if you do that, and someone's crazy enough to give you, what it would be a 1?
Yeah, I think it's a 1 first round pick. Franchise
is a 1. Yeah.
Yes,
it's a 1.
Yes.
So if somebody gives you a 1 for Barkley, I don't think the Giants are going to match it. I mean, they love the guy, but that's just not good business.
No, I'm taking the first round pick. I love Barkley, but I'm taking that first round pick.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
You got to
get Bijan Robinson in the draft. There you go.
Yeah, man. Yeah, we're gonna talk about the draft, man. I've been watching a lot of draft. I've been catching up on some draft things, man. And I got some names, man. I want to hear. I want to hear some of what you guys think, man. Let me catch up on the comments here. Bookends, what's good, Bookends, man?
Hey, Bookends.
Appreciate you coming in, man. What's good, man? Bookends, man. Always a loyal supporter, man. Appreciate you, man. It was a bad gamble by Joe Shane not taking the 5th-year rookie option for DJ. Now he struck him and Mo Hole to pay up big. Yeah, I mean, man. Hindsight is 2020, man. But I still think they had to do what they had to do. They had to make Daniel Jones go out there and prove that he was the guy, man. You know what I'm saying? And I'm glad it worked out. I really am.
They didn't really know him too well, like enough to believe in him. Like that's why they picked up that 5th option.
Yeah, go out there and prove yourself, and that's exactly what Jones did. And a lot of these guys proved that they deserve to be here.
Most definitely. Would pay Saquon 14.5 a mil. I think his contract is going to be around $14 million if I had to say.
Yeah,
Because
13
they
too.
offered him 12 and a half. He wants 16. So 13 and a half, 14, that's roundabout what I think he's going to end up settling on. Unless some team just blows him away, which pause. But I
Could
don't know if that's
happen.
gonna happen.
Running
It
back
could.
market is going to be robust.
It could. It very well could. So real quick here, man. The Giants, the Giants got $44.27 million in cap room.
Mm-hmm.
That's the third most in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
Um, they could get more cap room if they restructure Leonard Williams and extend Leo. Cut Kenny Galladay. Um, and maybe I think there's one more deal they can redo. I think it's Graham Gano. Shout out to
Yes.
Big Pat. He brought that up in the chat.
Yes.
But
Restructure Graham Gano.
yeah, I think Graham Gano, they can redo Graham Gano's deal.
Yeah,
And pretty
yeah.
much
Or
just
extend
lock
him
him
too.
down. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
That's
lower
what I
than
mean. Yeah,
Stan.
extend them. Yeah. But so they could be upwards of $60 million, man, when this thing is all said and done, man. Now we talked about some of the targets. About linebacker, cornerback, wide receiver, and different things like that. But I want to focus on two positions today, man. Where I think the Giants was the weakest at. Um, one's on defense, one's on offense, man. And that's the linebacker and the wide receiver, man. And what I want to do is an exercise, man. Y'all follow along with me. So we're
Okay.
gonna look at the linebacker. Um, and some of the linebackers in free agency, and then some of the linebackers in the draft. Then we're gonna look at some of the wide receivers and some of the free agency, some of the wide receivers in the draft, and kind of give me an idea of where you guys would want to attack that position at wide receivers, free agency, or draft,
Okay.
based on who we're gonna be looking at. So we'll start with free agency. Um,
Does this include trades too, or just free agency?
just straight up free agency.
Okay.
And I know the T Higgins trade is getting a lot of drama on Twitter. So is the Brandon Ayuk rumors.
I like him a lot.
But yeah, both damn good receivers, and
And
both could
Michael Pittman
instantly come
Jr.
in
Him too.
and make this team become a number one receiver here. But let's take a look at some of these linebackers first, man. I'm really, because this is kind of what I've been harping on the Giants for, man. Is the front seven,
Mm-hmm.
and then the offensive line, man. If you look at the Philadelphia Eagles, man, they dominated with that offensive line. That offensive line, man, they may be losing some pieces, man, but I don't see them falling off a lot, man. So we got to get our defense right, man. We
Yeah.
got to get our run game right, man. Or else this team gonna keep running over top of every damn body, man. I ain't feeling that.
But
Not one fucking bit.
and YG, I just
um,
got a quick question for you before we start.
Go
How
ahead,
much
man.
stock do you put into guys coming back from injury next year? Like some of the young guys, like an Aaron Robinson, Ellerson Smith, Marcus McKeithen, Joshua Azudu, Wandale Robinson, Darian Beavers. Like, how much
You
do you
could
think these
basically launch.
guys,
You could
DJ
basically
Davis,
put them in with the rookie class. That's a
yeah.
question mark.
But do you
Those are
think that
question
these
marks more.
guys, do you think these guys could potentially be some of those holes that they might need to fill? That you might have the guys here already. It just depends on how much they progress. Some of the banged up players, or no? Like, how much do you trust these guys that they could step up and fill
I
some of these
think
holes?
that's what Dave Gettleman got in trouble. Remember, he trusted Matt Pert and Andrew Thomas to be his bookend tackles. Those were two
Mm-hmm.
young, unproven guys. Um, and and we see how that worked out, man. We trusted Kenny Galladay to come in off an injury and help produce. We trusted guys like Kyle Rudolph. And now these guys are older, man. But the point being is you can never anticipate how someone's gonna be, especially coming off an injury. You never know. These guys, yeah, they have promise, man, but we've seen the prime example, Saquon Barkley. It took him a year to get his explosiveness back. You know what I mean? Because he thrives off speed. You know what I'm saying? His ability to get in and out of his cuts. So when you have a leg injury, that directly, it's not like McKinney with the hand. You know what I'm saying? Like JPP with the hand. That affects you, but it doesn't affect you like your movement. You see what I'm saying? Like, we're talking about these guys' movement and how fast they're going to be. And this is why. Look what Bookend says. We need speed, man. We need speed
all
y'all.
over the place.
Look what my man put up here earlier. Jers, wide receivers ranked the slowest in the NFL. We need speed. And you can't trust a guy coming back off an injury that's a speed guy, because you don't know how fast he's gonna be. So do you think the Giants are gonna sign Feliciano? Hell no, I don't want Feliciano back here. I'd rather keep Nick Gates for depth and go out and get a starting center. Wandale Robinson, Wandale won't be ready. And we're gonna talk about the wide receivers here too. Wandale says
I was watching some of those young prospects earlier. Some of the top prospects coming out in the draft. There's some of them I actually like a lot.
There's a lot of wide receivers and a lot of running backs, and this is why I want to talk about here in a minute. All right, Ronnie. Hey, Ronnie.
Hey, Ronnie.
Says yes. With Barkley's injury, you can always do better your second year back. Yes, the second year. And that's what we're talking about. The second year back. If you come back that first year, you're gonna be slowed down a little bit. I'm not saying these guys. Look at Blake Martinez. Blake Martinez had to retire. Yeah. So, and everybody was questioning whether he was going to be the same player or not. So now these guys, Beavers, Aaron Robinson, some of these guys are young. DJ Davison, and these guys, McKeithen, they're gonna be here. Mizudu, these guys are gonna be here, man. But you keep drafting guys. You don't say, "Oh, I got these guys, so I'm good. I just need to bring some starters in." No, you go get more young guys. And if some of those guys don't shake out because of injury, now you don't have to worry about not having somebody to replace them because you went out and got extra help. Depth, that's what we've been lacking. You know what I mean? Body flow, blood flow has to rejuvenate in that leg again. I agree. Adrian Peterson is the only one that came back. Yes, Ronnie, he's the only one. He's the only one that I could remember. That
Didn't
came
Dalvin
back.
Cook do it too? He was pretty good when he came back from his ACL too.
The first year?
I think so.
Oh, I have to look that up. Maybe you're right. All right, let's get into this, man. Let's get into this. So,
okay,
we got linebackers out there, man. We got linebackers. We got Levante David. Now this is according to Spot Track. It's according to Spot Track, right? Calculated market value is 9.7 million. 1 year. 1 year, 9.7 million. Contract. Free agent. 23. Yeah. So that's what his average market value is. About $9 million. About $10 million for Levante David. What do you think about Levante David? Jeffy.
I mean, he's been a great linebacker throughout his entire career with Tampa Bay. He's a good sideline to sideline guy, good against the run. I just worry about he's up there in age, right? He's like 30 something, right?
Yeah, this guy is 33 years old. So
yeah. I don't know if I want to
Okay.
pay $10 million for a 33-year-old linebacker as good as he is. I might have to do a hard pass on that one.
Okay.
Unless he wants to cheap.
What about Tremaine Edmonds? Tremaine Edmonds is scheduled to get an average annual salary of $11 million.
Ooh, that's not bad.
Would you throw that at Tremaine Edmonds? 11 mil, about 4 years, $44 million is his market value.
Absolutely. I think that'd actually be a little bit of a bargain because I thought his price would actually be a little higher than that. I would absolutely throw that at Tremaine Edmonds because I think he'd be an instant upgrade and give us some speed and versatility at that linebacker position. I just want to see how he plays because Matt Milano is very good too in that inside linebacker position. So I want to see how good he is when he's not playing next to a very good linebacker. Same with David.
Let's go, Braun.
He has Devin White. So
okay. Okay. What about here's the name. Alex Alzoon.
Oh, Alex Anzalone?
Anzalone. That's right. Anzalone, man.
Fabio?
Anzalone only signed a $1.7 million guaranteed contract last year, but his stats is actually pretty good. Let me see if I can pull up his stats real quick. He was he had over 100 tackles.
Mm-hmm. He's with the Lions, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Alex.
I remember him from the Saints. He was with the Saints.
He was he had this year he had 125 combined tackles, 1.5 sack, 1 interception. He played over 1,000 snaps. 28 years old. So he could be a piece, maybe a cheaper option if you can't get Tremaine Edmonds. So we talked about Levante David, Tremaine Edmonds, and Alex. So is there any other guy that you think, Jeffy, that could be a target in free agency at the linebacker position?
I got a couple, and they're actually from our division rivals, the Eagles. I believe TJ Edwards.
TJ Edwards, okay.
TJ Edwards and Kaiser White. I believe both of them are free agents. And they have Nakobe Dean, who I believe is going to get some more playing time next year. So I think they're not going to sign both of them because of obviously Jalen Hurts is going to get a big deal, and they got a whole lot of free agents too. So TJ Edwards, I think, had over 100 tackles this past season. I believe he's coming off the end of his rookie deal. Kaiser White's not a bad player too. I think Edwards would be more of an impact player, in the middle than White. But I want to see if this team strikes out on Edmonds or Levante David, then I would probably look at a TJ Edwards, a Kaiser White, an Alex Anzalone, and those guys.
Yeah, to the poor strength and conditioning, man. Players juice to get big for pitches, but not really strong to perform on the pitch. Yeah, Ojulari, man. Ojulari is a concern. And yeah, man. Taj is a LeBron fan, man. What's the score, man? Let's check on the game, man.
2-point game, under a minute left.
Oh yeah. Okay. It's getting iffy. We will bring you a score update.
No threes.
When this game is over. Ronnie says not a good fit for us.
Tie game.
Jared says, what about Anthony Barr? What you think about Anthony Barr? What you think about CJ Mosley? He's a free agent too, from the Jets.
Barr gets hurt a lot. That's the problem. I don't know what Barr is right now compared to what he was. Compared to what he was earlier in the season. Well, we have to find out if Wink's going to still be our defensive coordinator because it sounds like that the Colts are looking really hot and heavy at both our coordinators, and both of them could be finalists for that job. So we have to see if Wink is still our defensive coordinator. That's number one.
Mm-hmm.
And same thing with Kafka on offense if we get to that point. So, I mean, if Wink and Kafka don't accept that job, then, I mean, we have to look at who's the best fit for the system. So I don't know about Barr. He's up there in age. Mosley's a solid player, but, you know, he was out of place a couple of times with the Jets, missed some tackles in the open field. So I'm not really sure about Mosley either. I mean, it's like last-ditch options I would go for him, but, you know, the Giants need some type of impact player in that middle linebacker position, and Edmonds is the guy. That's the one guy that you got to target. He's still young enough. He's, you know, he was with Joe Shane. Shane knows him, obviously, in the Buffalo system. I think Shane was Shane part of the regime that drafted him, or was that Billy Bean? Or no, it was Brandon Bean.
That was Shane. I mean, Shane was there, I believe. I believe
Okay.
he was there because this is Tremaine Edmonds' what, 4th year in the league?
Yes.
Yeah. So I think he was there, man, at when Shane was there. Looks like it's tied up.
Huh.
Lakers and Knicks, 114 apiece. 24 seconds left in the fourth.
All right, LeBron,
Wells, man. Shout out to Wells and Big Bro Lou, man. Do Leathers to the Face, man. Saturday night. That show is fire, man. Please go subscribe, man. Said the big boys going at it. UFC Fight Night. Lewis versus Spivak. What's his name?
What are they?
Bar might work out for us. He could, Ronnie, but I'm kind of with Jeffy. I don't know. I don't know. But let's look at the draft. Let's look at the draft and see if we can find a linebacker in the draft, man. And some of these guys, man, are really good, man. I'm gonna start with Trenton Simpson.
I love him.
Trenton Simpson is the guy. I mean, he's the guy you want in this draft if you want a linebacker. This guy plays all over the field. He's instinctful. He's fast. He has you know, all the measurables, the athleticism, everything you want in a sideline to sideline linebacker. So to me, he's the guy you want if you can get him. You can put him at edge. You can put him at middle linebacker. You can put this guy at safety. You can put this guy at slot cornerback. Like, this guy does it all. He is a chess piece. He is
sounds like Isaiah Simmons
nightmare. Yes. And what you can do when you have the speed, like we said, and you put guys like him and Kayvon Thibodeau out there from a speed standpoint that can also rush the passer. And if Ojulari can slim down and get his weight and speed under control again, man, I'm telling you, Trenton Simpson, man, this cat right here, man, is going to be a player, man. Whoever gets him, man, he is the number 1 rated linebacker by most all draft experts that I've watched. I watched the tape on him, and they ain't lying. Dude is nice, you know. Yeah. So Trenton Simpson, man, most definitely, man. But what's your thoughts on Trenton Simpson, man? Jeffy, man. Have you seen any tape on him? Never put a rookie on D-line or fire O-line or defensive front line. Too many mistakes, penalties, and injuries will cause losses for the entire team. Also, losing seasons guaranteed. Yeah, man. Yeah, the O-line, the rookie on the O-line is tough, man. Having a rookie out there on the O-line, man. But I don't look, man. I think what the Giants need to do, man, they really need to think about looking in this draft, I think, for a linebacker. And this is why I want to do this exercise, man. But what you think about Trenton Simpson real quick, Jeffy?
Well, I mean, if you're looking at the prototypical linebacker, that could be a really big help and the type of player the Giants have needed. in the middle of that defense, Trent Simpson's the guy. Trent Simpson's the guy that answers the call. I mean, the guy could play sideline to sideline. He cover the tight end. You could put him anywhere on the field. Like you said, safety. He could play linebacker. He could play in the box. He could play in the back. The dude is the exact type of player that's got the speed, the lateral quickness, and everything that you look for in your ideal middle linebacker, and a guy that can command the middle of that defense. He's a leader. He's got some leadership qualities too. I don't know if this guy is going to drop to around the 25 range, or I would not be surprised if that's the guy that Joe Shane targets and Brandon Brown.
I agree,
if the
Jers.
Giants think about trading up to get him, if he's like a 20, 21, I believe Joe Shane will make a call and give up a draft, some picks to get up there and get a guy like Trenton Simpson if he's around that place, because he's that big of an impact player.
Yes. Most definitely, man. I definitely think so, man. This dude is an impact player. 6'3", 240 pounds, man.
He's got size.
He's got the speed, man. And I mean, he will look excellent in Giants blue. I'm gonna give you another guy, man. That I've been paying a close eye on. And that's Drew Sanders, man. 6'5", 233 out of Arkansas, man. Junior, man. This guy he's what they call a thumper. I mean, sideline to sideline, man. He has the speed. Not as athletic as a guy like Trent Simpson, man, but he's a solid tackler, man. You know what I'm saying? Pretty good. What he is a solid all-around linebacker. Like, he's not a liability in coverage. He plays the run well, He's just an overall solid linebacker. Nothing like crazy, but he's very instinctful, always in the right spot, man. You know what I'm saying? And I think he's another guy, man. If you can't get Trent Simpson, man, you can slide Drew Sanders right in there, man. He's a day one middle linebacker for the New York Giants, man. This dude is good. He's probably number 2 or 3, man, just in my initial rankings. And another guy I like, where is he at?
There's one guy I like that's from Iowa that a lot of people are talking about now, and that's Jack Campbell.
Oh, Jack Campbell, yeah.
A lot of people are talking about this kid being an impact player and potentially, being around that fringe, mid to late first, maybe like early second, that this kid's got the type of athleticism to be a good sideline to sideline, even a good coverage linebacker too, that would fit very well in our defense. So that's another guy I'd be eyeing as well. And he obviously came from the same defense as Dane Belton as well. So
yeah. Mac, what's good, man? What's popping, man? What's good, Mac? What's good, everybody, man? Appreciate you pulling up, man. But and there's another guy, man. His name is Demarvon Overshown from Texas, man. Now, this guy is he's a little bit underrated. 6'4", 224, but he is athletic as a mofo. Like, dude is like, if you can get, he's one of those what they call raw prospects. You know what I'm saying? Pause. But that's
like
what JT. Yeah, man. But he's 6'4", 230. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude runs a 4, like low 4.4, 4.5s or something like that. I believe. Like, this guy is pretty good too. And then there's Nick Herbrig from Wisconsin. But a lot of people feel like he might have to transition into like an outside linebacker in a 4-3. But he's too good. Him and Jack Campbell, I think, are really good against the run, man. I like Drew Sanders and Trenton Simpson as more overall linebackers and linebackers that are good in coverage. So I want somebody athletic, man, that can contain some of these receivers and some of these tight ends, man, that are killing us in our division. You know what I'm saying? We're getting smacked in our division, man, a lot, man. So That's what I'm talking about right there, man. The linebacker position. There's also Noah Sewell, Panay Sewell's little brother. He's
Mhm.
very good too. 6'3", 253, man. He's a he's a force inside as well, man. So there are some linebackers. You got Ivan Pace from Cincinnati. And then Henry Toatuo from Alabama as well. I know a lot of people are not big on him, but
No.
the target for me would be Trenton Simpson or Drew Sanders in the draft. And then if you can get a Tremaine Edmonds or Alex Aluni, um, I think you cooking with grease, man. You know what I'm saying? I think you cooking with grease right there, man, and that's going to really help this New York Giants team turn around from a run standpoint, man. And that's what the thing with Trent Simpson. The game is in overtime, by the way. The Knicks Lakers game is 118, 116 Lakers. About
Okay.
3:34 left in the fourth quarter, man. Just give you guys a update on that, man. We're gonna go back and get back into the basketball too, as well as some college updates and some baseball as well, and whatever else y'all feel like talking about, Super Bowl, whatever. We're gonna get it
You
in
actually
tonight,
got me
man.
intrigued. You got me intrigued by this tomorrow. I gotta look some. I didn't get a chance to look at some of the linebackers yet,
Yeah,
but
check out
this Overshown kid,
Overshown.
he gets me intrigued because
Yeah.
unless he's just very undisciplined in his play, and he just needs to be coached up well, the Giants would be a perfect spot for him because we have
Mm-hmm.
such great coaching that they can get the most out of this kid's incredibly high raw skills, much like
Mm-hmm.
Coughlin's team and Coughlin's coaching staff got the most out of JPP. So this
Mm-hmm.
Overshown kid really intrigues me, but I like Jack Campbell because of his
Like
ability to
Jack
play the
Campbell.
run. And I want
Mm-hmm.
linebackers that know how to play the run too, because our
Yeah.
run defense, obviously the defensive tackle position, the depth was poor, but our linebackers were not very good in open field tackling either, and
Jack
they did not pursue the
Jack
run
Campbell's
well.
good, but when I watch his tape, he looks a tad bit slow. He looks like he will be getting a little Michael McFadden out there a little bit. He just
I
looks
hear you.
a little step behind in coverage, man. But yeah, he's excellent in run defense. He will immediately be an upgrade, man. His discipline, his gap integrity, coach talks about
Mm.
that all the time. You know what I'm saying? Stand in your gaps, man. Being disciplined on the edge, man. That's Jack Campbell, man. He can get it done, man. And we're gonna get more into that, man. There will be film reviews coming on Big Pat's channel. Stay here with the Big Blue Crew. You know how we rock, man. So, but yeah, man, those are the linebackers. So, question is, you go out and get big money on a linebacker, or do you attack one in the first, second, or third round? I give you the option. You could do go with the free agency that we talked about. The couple guys that we mentioned, guys like Anthony Barr, Levante David, Tremaine Edmonds, or we can go in the draft, man, and take our first, maybe even our second round pick. A lot of these guys, man, might be in the second round, to be honest with you. Some might even be on the third round, but we can go out and try to get that. Or we can double dip and spend a high draft pick and go get Tremaine Edmonds. What would you do, Jeffy, man, to fix this linebacking position? And then we'll get into the wide receivers.
Well, if it came down to the free agency and the draft, Tremaine Edmonds would still be my number one target because of the familiarity he has with the New York Giants coaching staff. The head coach as well as the general manager. They know how good this kid is, and maybe they can get him on a little bit of a bargain. I doubt a major bargain. He would be the ideal guy to get into this middle linebacker position. But if you can't find a way to get him, I'm going right to the draft, and I would get a linebacker in either the first or second round. And for me, the target's obviously Trenton Simpson. It's just, is he going to fall towards our area around like 2025? He's obviously the number one target. If not, then I would look at an Overshown or a Jack Campbell or one of these guys in the second round. That would be looking over some of these guys that we have, back like some of the free agents that are out there. I would not mind double dipping. Get like maybe a less expensive. Well, here's a question for you, NYG. Would you get a Tremaine Edmonds and then double dip with another linebacker or two in the mid rounds, or would you get like maybe not a top free agent at linebacker, a depth piece, and then go for like a first or second round pick at linebacker in the draft? Like, what strategy would you go for? And for the chat too.
Yeah, I think real quick. Wells made an interesting comment. I heard rumors of the Giants having to pay Wink head coach money. Any truth to that?
I did hear that.
I think there's truth to that. And I'm gonna tell you why, Wells, because you remember, they paid Patrick Graham. Remember that first offseason? Patrick Graham was getting traction to and the Giants gave him a raise. And I think they did that for one more. It was another coach they did that for. They paid him big money to stay. But yeah, I would pay Wink. I wouldn't pay him head coaching money. But I would definitely give him a raise to stay. I mean, if he want to go be a head coach, let him be a head coach. The man's earned that right. He's been in the league for a very, very long time. I can't be mad at him one bit. But if you got to give him a good size raise to keep him here, you do that, because you're gonna have your defensive coordinator that's gonna build your next great defense. We had the defense in the 80s, we had the defense in the 2000s, and now this is gonna be the next great one, and Wink's gonna be the leader of that. And I believe that, man. I think the Giants will do what they need to do to keep that man. Mike Kafka, hey, man, it is what it is. If he goes, he goes. I got my trust in Brian Dable. That's how I feel about it.
Yeah. And Shea Tierney could always take over at OC if they need to.
Yeah. And I don't think it's gonna hurt our offense if you bring in Daniel Jones back, So
agreed.
But yeah, so let's get into it's 123, 120 Lakers. 144 left in overtime. That's my update real quick. But the linebackers, that's right. What would I do, Jeff?
Yes.
I would go and get if you're paying. Okay, here's the thing. If you paying Julian Love and you paying, which I don't know if they're gonna pay Julian Love or not, but if you're going to pay Barkley, pay Jones, possibly trade for a wide receiver, or possibly give Odell Beckham Jr. a contract, I don't know. That is now the money's starting to add up here a little bit. You see what I'm saying? So,
and Dex. Don't forget about Dex.
Right. So maybe what you want to do is go get the guy from Detroit. You know what I'm saying? Get him. He's a good, solid tackler, solid run defender. And if you're going to go in the draft, you can attack that position in probably the second or third round. Because some of these guys are going to slip. Like I said, you can get that Overshown kid, or maybe Ivan Pace Jr., or even a guy like Noah Sewell, in the later rounds possibly. So that's what I would do, and then you bring that group back in with Darian Beavers and Micah McFadden, and you see what shakes loose. You know what I'm saying? That could be a way you could attack it. Now if you're not paying some of these guys and you're going to let some of them go, then you go get you somebody that can be a leader in the middle of your defense. You go get you another guy, man. That guy should be Tremaine Edmonds, and you do that. And then you probably want to go linebacker a little bit later, because that means you probably gonna need to go corner, or possibly interior offensive lineman or defensive line. I really want this team to tackle the defensive line, but I'm gonna get to the defensive lineman. We'll probably go do this thing again next Tuesday, and we'll do 2 other positions, one on offense, one on defense. But that's kind of how I would take a look at it. So just kind of recap. If you got a guy like if you signing all your free agents back and you really tightening up on your budget, even though they're gonna have 50, you don't want to spend all your money. I would hold off on that, especially if you got to pay a wide receiver. If you're getting OBJ or T. Higgins or Ayuk or whoever you're gonna go get to pay. I wouldn't go give Tremaine Edmonds on money on top of that. You know what I'm saying? You probably get outbidded at that point, because you don't want to overpay. And so I would go look for this guy from Detroit,
Alex
or
Anzalone.
or maybe you can bring in a cheap veteran, you know what I'm saying? And then you go get you a guy in the first, on the second or third round. If Trent Simpson's there in the first, I'm on it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's the guy. You know what I'm saying? So
I'm starting to wonder about the cornerback position because it all depends on, I know we should upgrade at that position, but it all depends on what they think about guys like Cordero Flott and Aaron Robinson. If they think these guys still have good upside, they might be willing to not prioritize the cornerback 2 position as much because they might think that Robinson and or Flott could develop into those outside and slot cornerbacks that they're looking for. So it really just depends on how they feel about those 2 guys. And cornerback could actually be more of like a position down the food chain because Robinson's talented. He just got to stay healthy, and Flott got to fill out a little bit, and that kid's got talent too. So cornerback might not be as high of a position depending on what they think about Aaron Robinson and Cordero Flott.
I think the Giants do want to put themselves to go BPA, so
that's true.
If you bring it back Adoree and you go out and you get you a veteran, say of the Fabian Monroe type of level, somebody decent, you know what I'm saying? And then you see what shakes loose with Flott and Robinson. But you still need a slot guy because Darnay Holmes ain't cutting for me.
No, he's a bench guy.
You still gonna have to go out and get a guy, but maybe you don't make it as a necessary as of a need unless a guy just drops to you in your lap. You know what I'm saying? What if the kid Porter Jr. is there? That kid's good.
Ooh.
He can
Porter
be
Jr. or Simpson. If both those guys drop there, who you taking between Porter Jr. and Simpson?
I like Porter Jr., man. You know what I'm saying? I like this pops Joey, man. When he played, man, linebacker, man.
Steelers, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And he's a taller guy. I don't have his measurables here, but I think he's a taller, a bigger guy. So I think when you looking at that, I think you gotta look at who's in your division, and you gotta be able to cover. You put him with because I'm gonna tell you right now, if Philly get his hands on him, yeah.
Oh, don't even.
Philly
gets their hands on Simpson. They could get their hands on Simpson. They need linebackers. They could go after that Simpson kid. That's a guy that could be a target for them.
Yeah, I don't know if they take him at 10 after taking the Kobe Dean, but they could. You know what I'm saying?
They have 2 free agents at that linebacker position. And Dean's hasn't played at all, so they think this kid is versatile enough. I could easily see Trenton Simpson being a player the Eagles would target. Oh, that would be sick. It'd be sick. It'd be sick to my stomach if that happens.
So let's talk about the wide receivers, man. This game is almost wrapping up. It's 127, 121. My man Taj dipped out, man. Breezy's still here with us though, man. But we're gonna get back into the basketball here shortly, man. But I did want to touch on these couple topics, man, and then I'm gonna want to talk about the Jets and their disastrous hire of Nathaniel Hackett, but we'll get into them in a second.
It might not be as bad as you think.
I don't know, man. It gives me Adam Gase vibes, man. When when you hire a guy that just got fired. I don't.
Yeah.
At least they didn't hire him to be the head coach this time. So
That's true. But think about why they did it. When we get to it, think about why they might have hired him for, because of a certain quarterback that could shake loose.
I know, man, but I think that's chasing a pipe dream, man. But we'll see, man.
Yeah.
We will see, man. But the damn, man, it looks like it might be over for the Knicks here. Oh boy.
It's 2 steps forward, 8 steps back. That's the New York Knicks. They can
right.
never could get it going. It's like they have so much promise, and then they just revert back to what they were. This is the New York Knicks for you.
It's 129, 123. That is the final, y'all. That's it. That's it, man.
How did Barrett and Randall do? Do they have good games, or they play like garbage?
I'm gonna tell you here in just a second. Let me
take your time, man.
Let me get the score up here.
Okay.
Here we go. RJ Barrett had he shot 5 for 13, 0 for 3, had 13 points.
Yeesh.
Julius Randle shot 6 for 19, 2 for 9, had 23 points. Brunson was the only one doing anything. He had 37. 13 for 29. Didn't shoot great, but and for the Lakers, it was pretty much LeBron and AD, 27 and 28 apiece. LeBron 28, LeBron 27. Westbrook added 17 off the bench. And the Lakers, it looks like the rebounding was close. What was it? Oh, shooting. They shot 51% from the field. Jeez.
Yeah.
And the Knicks shot 44%, 20% for 34 from 3.
They can't shoot threes.
Oh, they can't shoot.
Well, look at Randall's performance.
Are back.
Randall had a horrendous shooting performance. What did you say, like 6 for 19? That's terrible. That's a horrible shooting percentage for Julius Randle. And then RJ Barrett.
Mm-hmm.
I would actually, if I'm the Knicks, I would really think about exploring trades for RJ Barrett. I would. This guy, I just don't know with him. He's just so. I've heard that, Jers. I've heard they might start Flott in the slot, and then have Aaron Robinson on the outside because of his size.
Aaron Robinson was not bad on the outside.
He's good. You know he just can stay healthy.
Yeah, he wasn't bad on the outside. He really wasn't, man. He wasn't bad on the outside at all. And I thought Rodarius Williams had promise, but I guess they don't like him anymore. He's out of there. So what's good, Earl? What's good, man? Appreciate you man, coming over, man. Shout out to Earl, man. Go sub up to Earl, man. With the wrestling experience, man. It is an experience too, man. I've been over there, man. Good work, man, by those guys. Shout out to Hardcore Network, man.
Thank you.
All you guys over there, man, doing excellent work, man. Let's get into these wide receivers, man. A hot button topic, man. Outside the quarterback
position on the football. Love this position.
Let's get into the wide receivers, man. There's some really good ones in the draft, man. But let's talk about free agency, man. Let's start with our guy, man, or our people. Darius Slayton, man. There's some people saying bring him back. I've always been a Slayton guy, man. I think he's just gotten a raw deal, man. He's a guy was put in a bad spot, man, much like Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley, man. He's another guy that's been put in a bad spot, man, but he kind of shares the shoulder of the blame. Definitely not a perfect player. Definitely doesn't have the greatest hands, to put it nicely, but Slay's a good guy, man. He's a good teammate, man. He took a pay cut to stay with this team, to come back to play with Daniel Jones, man. But if I'm that dude, I'm going to get my money, man. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if Joe Shane and them, unless he takes another discount, another hometown discount, and comes back at like $5 or $6 million a year for, on a 2 or 3 year deal, and I could see him coming back. But I mean, that dude's been through a lot, man. He's been drugged through the fan base, man. He's got a chance to go get a fresh start, much like Evan Ingram did over there in Jacksonville. You see how well he did. And I just think, man, just from a human standpoint, man, I kind of want to see him move on, man. I want to see the guy go out there, get a fresh start, get with a team, man. You know what I'm saying? Get in a new environment, because he's a good player, man. And I think a lot of his drops are concentration issues. Maybe he doesn't handle the pressure as well as some. You know what I'm saying? But he's a good dude, man, and he's been our number one receiver, man. Without Slayton, we wouldn't have a receiver, literally. For the majority of a lot of these seasons. You know what I'm saying?
True.
Of course, Hodgins did well. But remember, this wide receiver core didn't start rolling until Slayton got put in the starting lineup, man. Even with Shepard and Galladay and all them cats and Tony and all of them out there, they were still struggling. Wan'Dale Robinson, they ain't get rolling until Slayton got out there, man. Because that's Daniel Jones's guy. So if I'm Jones, I'm sure he's probably pushing to get Slayton back, but I don't think he comes back, man. Would I bring him back? Sure. Would I overpay him? No, not at all. That's my honest opinion. Unpopular as it may be, but Jeff, what you think? What's your thoughts on Slayton? And again, what you think about OBJ? Them possibly going after OBJ, and then we could talk about Miko Hardman, Alan Lazard, and some of these other free agent wide receivers, man. Y'all hit that like button, man. We're gonna get into the free agent wide receivers. Then we're gonna get into the draft wide receivers, man. We talking Giants, talking Jets, talking football, talking Knicks, talking Nets, talking basketball, man. Let's get into it, man. For real, heart of the city, man. You already know what it is, man. Chat, man. What y'all think, man? What y'all think about Slayton? What y'all think about OBJ? Would you go after either? Would you bring in both, or would you say no to either and go out and get some other guys, man? A different group.
Well, I'll say Slayton and all the wide receivers as a whole. So I'll include guys like Richard James, Hodgins, I think is back, Sterling Shepard, OBJ, all these guys. I like Slayton. I mean, the guy is like the one wide receiver that has somehow broke the injury curse of the New York Giants wide receivers. Every other Giant wide receiver seems to always get hurt. Darius Slayton, for the most part, has broken that curse. I like Slayton. He's gotten I think he's about close to, or almost every season, 700 plus yards receiving.
Outside of one season, I think, maybe.
Not going to get a lot of receptions. He's not going to get a lot of receptions. He's not a high volume guy. He's a deep threat on the outside. He's got good chemistry with Daniel Jones, but I'm sorry, he's not taking a discount. I like Darius Slayton, but I'd be absolutely shocked if this guy takes a discount with the Giants. I think he should go out there and he should get his money. There's going to be a team out there, especially with a weak wide receiver core. They're going to look at a guy like Darius Slayton, who's a fifth-round pick, who actually performed pretty well for a fifth-round pick.
We getting a new field running.
Exactly.
Okay, a new I thought she was like,
we're getting a new turf. We're getting a new type of turf.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. Bring them back.
I can't relax, Ronnie, because of the fact that turf has pretty much taken away a lot of players. Miz has always said it all the time, takes away the souls of these players. I would love to bring Slayton back, but I don't think he's coming back. Because remember, you got other guys on this team that have taken more priority than Darius Slayton. I'm sorry. Slayton is probably towards the bottom of these priority lists when it comes to the players on this team. Barkley, Jones, Lawrence,
real quick,
those guys have high priority over Slayton.
Spot Track has Slayton at a market value of $3.5 million. 2 years, $7 million, $3.5 million average annual salary. Do you bring him back for that?
If that's his market and no team is actually going to blow him out of the water, then yeah, I would absolutely bring him back. For 2 years and $3.5 million, sign me up. Bring Slayton back. put him in the role that he should be in as a number 3 or number 4 wide receiver, a deep threat, not a starter, but a consistent deep threat on the outside that you could take the top off the defense, like we've been saying all season, and this guy will be utilized just perfectly. No, he's not a starter. If he's willing to take that type of deal, sign us up. I would take Darius Slayton back anytime. Do I think that's actually going to happen? I don't know. I think a team is actually going to blow him out. I think a team's going to be willing to offer
let me because I'm starting to look at this thing a little bit different because I'm looking at Spot Track, and the Spot Track thing is not all in the be all. You know what I'm saying? We don't got our coach up here today. He's our cap guy. But DJ Chark is asking for 9.5 million. Okay, so I mean, I don't think he's that much better than Slayton.
No.
Marvin Jones, he wants 3.4. Alan Lazard, his market value is 12.5. Average annual salary. You got Jacoby Myers.
I like him.
12.5. Of course, you got Odell Beckham Jr. You got Juju Smith-Schuster.
I like him.
His average command is 14.6.
Yeah, I like Juju.
You got some other guys here.
What's
Matt
Hardman's?
Collins. McCole Hardman's clicked on him. 11 mil. Yeah, he's 11 million.
Doesn't make any sense to me.
Andre Carter.
Wait, how are some of these guys making this much? And Darius Slayton has that
that's their
career.
market. Yeah, that's their market value.
That makes no sense. And Slayton's been better than some of these guys for the most part. His is only 3.5. That doesn't calibrate with me very well. I figured he'd be around that range, like 8, 10 mil for the way he's played.
You'd think, but I mean, according to this, and I mean,
wow,
you can go to top 3. This is according to PFF now. Okay, top 22,000. So I'm going to a different website, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Hit that like button, man. Doing that research, man. Let's go. Bing bong. I see you, Taj.
There you go.
I told you they was waiting on the Knicks to show off. Everybody shows off on the Knicks. So PFF has got well, this is their I guess their grades. I guess this is how they're ranking it. Jacoby Myers, overall grade 77.6, which is 20th. Smith-Schuster is 72.0, which is 35th. Slayton is 74.8. And he's 32nd, which is over Jacoby Myers. I mean, Smith-Schuster. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Smith-Schuster. Chark, he's 60.4. He's 131st. Lazard, he's 68.6. He's 56th. Marvin Jones is 62.3. He's 82nd. McCole Hardman, 67.9. He's 60th. And then you go to Juice Landry and a bunch of other no-name guys. Unless you want older guys like Sammy Watkins and Julio Jones.
No, thank you.
I don't either.
That makes no sense then. How is... Wow, they are really disrespecting Darius Slayton. Wow.
He gets a bad rep, man, because of the Giants, man. Yeah, and it's because of how we look at our players and how the media looks at our players. I think everybody on this team is trash, and the players that are good, they find something else wrong with them. Now they want to pick on Kayvon Thibodeau because he didn't know who somebody was playing who when he was a baby. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on
Oh
now.
yeah, I heard about that.
This is stupid stuff, man. Like this, man. He drops the easy ones when it's instinctive and doesn't have to think he catches it. So we're gonna turn our attention to the draft because the wide receiver room ain't looking so hot, in my opinion. But we got some pretty good ones in the draft here, man. And when you look at a guy like Slayton, I think a lot of his he's a body catcher. He catches the football with his body. You know,
Yes.
one of those guys, man. Like he should be a possession receiver, but he just doesn't have the, those type skills. But there's some pretty good receivers out here, man. Of course, the main guy, top guy is Quentin Johnson. 6'4", 215, man. This dude is a monster, man. You want somebody to throw in the division that can rival guys like AJ Green and CD Lamb. I think he's better than CD Lamb. You know what I'm saying? Just the speed and the height and the physical ability, man. This
Good
guy
route runner
plays with,
too.
man. He's an excellent route runner, man. Like this guy, he has everything, man. So Quentin Johnson, TCU, man. Now if you want what kind of receiver? Let me ask y'all this, because I have several receivers I'm looking at here, man. What type of receiver do you want? And we'll see if we can find that guy. What's your ideal receiver in that you want in this offense? In this offense, say even if it's not Mike Kafka, say Brian Dable runs something similar to what he's running here. Now remember, the only guys you got on the roster, we looked at the free agent. I think we both agree we not too keen on that. Maybe you get a guy, maybe you bring Slayton back, maybe you get Beckham on a cheap deal or something like that. But
yeah,
you still need a number one. So you ain't getting one in free agency, in my opinion. Let's forget about the trades for a minute. What kind of guy are you looking for to be your number one receiver to pair with Isaiah Hodgins, Wan'Dale Robinson, and say Beckham or Slayton or somebody like that, Allen Lazard or something?
I don't know. I mean, I kind of want a guy that can create separation with his ability to be a good route runner. Somebody like a Sterling Shepard who creates the separation and quickness in and out of his routes with his route running. Because a lot of times you can have good speed, but speed will only take you so far if you don't know how to create the separation once you're bracketed by the defense. So you need to be able to have those quick in and out breaks. Because, I mean, what was one of the reasons why Shep was so good? Was the dude was a terrific route runner to get in and out of his breaks to get open over the middle. And there's a couple of guys I looked at in this, they are slot receivers, but they can create some pretty good separation and are good at high pointing the ball, even for the limited size. I actually like that Josh Downs kid from North Carolina.
UNC.
He impressed.
He's very good route runner. Jordan Addison is a very good route runner too.
Actually impressed me a lot. Couple of players. You guys have all been on that Rashee Rice train. I looked at that dude. He's got size. He can pluck the ball out of the air. He's got that extra burst.
203. Yep.
And he gets that extra burst when he's breaking away from the defender. And also Zay Flowers. That kid is electric with the ball in his hands. He's really fast,
small, though.
but he's got
really
speed for days. So I mean, that kid has got speed. I don't really like Jalen. A lot of people talk about Jalen Hyatt. I'm not that big of a Jalen Hyatt. I don't know why. I just don't. I think he's too much. He relies too much on his speed, if anything.
Fast.
And I don't know if he is fast, but, God forbid if you can find a way to counter his speed by bracketing him and try to make him, get open with some of his quickness and stuff over the middle. He has Jalen Waddle type characteristics, but I don't know how good of a route runner he is overall. So I worry about a kid like, him. I like Keyshawn Boutier a little bit too, but I don't know.
Tell you who's a pretty good route runner. I was looking at this kid, Parker Washington out of Penn State.
I did hear about them. Yeah, Parker Washington's underrated.
Yeah, he's got some pretty good twitch to him or whatever, man. and and you got of course you got JSN, Jackson Smith, and then this
Nice.
other kid now is coming on. There's two other guys coming on here lately. That I'm hearing about. Nathaniel Tank Dell, out of
Yes, I'm
Houston.
glad you brought him up. I heard about him too.
This guy is electric. Yeah,
Yes, yes, he is.
he's gonna be rising up draft boards. And then if you're looking for a guy with size, pause, AT Perry, man, out of Wake
Coach's
Forest, man.
guy.
Yeah, he's coming on, man. Senior Bowl going on right now. And he's showing out there. So
I like
that's
AT
another
Perry a
guy.
lot.
That's another guy to look at, man. Yeah,
What about
he's
Cedric Tillman, the other
said
kid
I was
from
getting ready to say
Tennessee?
him. Yeah, Cedric Tillman is really good. He's another guy with that size, man. Like kind of like you know what I want? I want a guy like Hakeem Nicks.
I'm
I want
glad.
another
That's
Hakeem
exactly who
Nicks.
I was thinking of. I'm glad you said him. I want a Hakeem Nicks type player, size but
Guy
good
with
route
size, but
running.
that's good route running and that has enough speed to get by you if you sleep on him.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Not
and he
no
can pluck the
burner.
ball out of the air.
Yeah, man. You want a guy with strong hands, man, because we got so many guys that they bounce off. They don't have strong enough hands to catch Daniel Jones's passes, man. I feel like these guys, man, you know, they got weak hands, man. You know, little baby, little junior hands and shit, man. You know what I'm saying?
That's why I like Downs. I like Downs because just watching his tape, this kid goes up there and he's not afraid to pluck the ball out of the air and high point the catch. He's not a big receiver, but Joshua Downs, he goes up there and he grabs that ball
Yeah,
and is able to
UNC,
stay
yeah.
in bounds. He's good. Like a lot of
Mm-hmm.
people are not talking about that kid enough. I think he's going to be a very underrated player. It's just he's not a big receiver and he's not really a guy that creates a lot of separation. He maneuvers in the slot. He tries to get open with some of his, route running, his initial quickness over the middle, but he's pretty good.
Yeah, man. Yeah, definitely, man. And Jonathan Mingo, he's another underweight rated receiver out of Ole Miss, 6'2", 225.
I like him too. Xavier Hutchinson.
Yes, another good guy, man. So you have a lot of receivers all throughout the spots for the receivers would be the end of the first, probably to the middle to the end of the third. I think those 2-3 rounds you can get a really good receiver. Levan says offensive rookie of the year, Chris Olave or Garrett Wilson.
I'm going Garrett Wilson.
Garrett Wilson. I actually picked Chris Olave, so my bias would say Chris Olave because he was actually one of my favorites for offensive rookie of the year. But
both of them are great this year.
They're
Olave
both good.
was great.
They're both
yeah.
good. They're both good, man. But I give it to Garrett Wilson, man. Just because it's hard of the city, man. Let's show the Jets some love, man.
He's really good.
We're gonna get to them in a minute, man.
NYG, I gotta answer that, and then I'm just gonna talk about the receivers a little bit more. But go ahead.
Go ahead, man. Go ahead. We need a receiver that attacks the ball and doesn't wait for it to get to him. Exactly,
yes,
man.
Great point.
Exactly.
Great point, bookends.
Go ahead, make your points, Jeff.
I looked at the receivers in this draft, and I think they're all very good receivers, but I don't see those elite traits immediately that jump off the page like the past couple of years. Like the 2020 draft, we saw 3 or 4 elite wide receivers coming out of that draft. I mean, Brandon Ayuk, I love the kid. He sort of reminds me of Hakeem Nicks, maybe not as quick with the burst in terms of like getting that extra gear in his speed, but he's really good. I mean, obviously Justin Jefferson, enough said. CeeDee Lamb is terrific. I mean, Jerry Jeudy's solid. There's a couple of other guys in that draft that I'm thinking of too. Michael Pittman Jr., how good he was. T. Higgins. That draft was incredible how many talented receivers came out of there. And obviously 2021, which I think might be going down as one of the best drafts in wide receiver in a very long time. You got 4 elite wide receivers. I mean, Devontae Smith, Jalen Waddle, and Jamar Chase are as good, if not better than advertised. They are all top tier, terrific wide receivers. And I put Amon St. Brown in there too. And I like Elijah. I like Elijah Moore a lot. And as much as we want to hate on Kadarius Toney, if this dude could ever stay healthy, he's got high upside too. So I mean, that draft's got a lot of good players. Even this past draft, with Jamison Williams, I'd like to see Mechie get out there on the field. Hopefully this year, sounds like
Olave
and Wilson are good. Yeah, I mean, there's some really good receivers these past couple of years. I don't know if any of these guys this year are on quite that level. I think they could be like good number ones, but I don't know if they're like elite number ones. I think Quentin Johnson has the best chance.
If you put him, man, it's something intriguing about Jordan Addison. Those guys that can run those type of routes, man. Like this is the guy. This is a guy I feel like can be an easy 100 catch guy a year. He could be Amon St. Brown.
He'd be like Devontae Smith.
So those are the type of guys I'm looking for. Because remember, it's about the combination of receiver. Devontae Smith wasn't really doing much until A.J. Brown got there. Then this dude just took off.
No, I disagree. Devontae Smith was really good in his rookie year.
He was good, but he was not nearly on the level he is right now, man.
He's a rookie. He's not going to get off to a great start.
It makes a difference. I agree. He would be a number one on another team, just like T. Higgins would be. But I'm saying that does help. If you just put that guy on the New York Giants, he's not doing that. You know what I'm saying? So
if he's a good route runner, he's going to be able to create that separation and turn him into a number one. Look at Christian Kirk. Christian Kirk did it. He wasn't a number one, but he played like a number one over there in Jacksonville when he was like really a 2 or 3 over there before he got signed by the Jaguars, and we were all making fun of that contract. Dude went out there and had a terrific season, played like a number one receiver for the Jags. So you don't know. You just don't know with these guys. I mean, you could say that T. Higgins, like a Jamar Chase, Devontae Smith, and Jalen Waddle, while we all believe they're very good, they have great receivers around them too that make them better. But I believe if they were all number ones by themselves, they'd all
they had the talent.
Wide receivers. They're all great.
I agree.
They're all great wide receivers.
Yeah, talent wise, yeah, totally agree, man. There's, like I said, man, you like Downs. I like Addison. I think Quentin Johnson, he gives you pretty much all of it.
I like Addison too. There's a lot of receivers I do like.
There's a lot of guys, man. This A.T. Perry guy, man, if you get this guy in the third round or something like that, and you pair him with a guy you get in the first, if you double dip like that, and then whoever you get from free agency with Wan'Dale Robinson and Hodges coming back, could be a pretty formidable wide receiver core, man. Because like what I see in a guy like AJ Perry is a guy that can move the chains, a possession receiver, but he's what Kenny Golladay should be. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And yeah, man, he's fast, man. He's not slow. So that's what I see here, man. With these wide receivers, man. But
what about Richie James? What do you think is going to happen with Richie James this offseason because of Wan'Dale being hurt? And I still think that Shep is coming back on some type of deal, but even if he comes back, you can't rely on him. And Wan'Dale being hurt, what do you think Richie James is going to come in? And would you bring him back? Because that's another guy that played pretty well, like Slayton, but he had his issues too. But he actually had a pretty good season when he had his opportunities out there. So would you bring back Richie James?
On a 1-year deal, yeah, I'll bring him back.
Okay.
I'll bring him back on a 1-year deal. Because like you said, your slot position is in flux because Wan'Dale Robinson is saying he's gonna be ready for week 1. Okay, whatever. You know what I'm saying? That's what a player wants. That's what a player is supposed to say. He's a player.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He's not gonna say, "Oh, I think I might miss half the season." You know what I'm saying? So, he's a player. Of course, he says he's gonna be healthy. You know what I'm saying? But it's about what the team say and if they're gonna give you the green light or not. And then of course there's Sterling Shepard. I personally think he should retire and get into coaching, but there's some Giants fans that want him to come back. So, I mean, if he comes back on a 1-year deal, okay, cool. So you got him, you got Wandale Robinson, okay, you got Hodgins, that's 3. If you bring back Colin Johnson, that's 4 guys. So if you bring it back Richie James, now you bringing back 5 guys from a receiving core that you trying to upgrade.
So you go to the draft.
You
You
see
go
what
to the
I'm
draft
saying?
and you get those upgrades.
What I'd rather do is do what Joe Shane did this year. You let some of these guys walk.
Okay.
If they go get contracts somewhere else, cool. You know what I'm saying? You got Hodgins in the building. He's coming back. He's a guy that you're going to develop and to probably your number 3 at worst. You know what I'm saying? So 2 at best, 3 at worst. You know what I'm saying? But you got a guy, Wandale Robinson. That's your slot guy for your future. Okay. So you got 2 of your 3 pieces. Now you need to basically another outside guy
Need the
and
alpha.
you need a speed guy. You need a Slayton replacement and you need a number 1. You know what I'm saying? And then you could, if you want to add another guy in there, if you don't trust one of these other guys, cool. But that ain't Richie James or Sterling Shepard at this point. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I'm like, I don't know about bringing both of them back. If you're gonna bring Shep back, bye Richie James.
Oh yeah.
If you feel like if Shepard, because whoever the other guy is, he's supposed to be backing up Wandale Robinson.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But for real, it's so many guys like that in this draft, Jeffy.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. You can get a guy, man. You can get man. You got Zay Flowers, man. You got Boudier. You got Raheem Jarrett from Maryland. You got Tillman.
I forgot about him. The other kid from Maryland too. Demas, I think his name is.
Yeah, man. You got a bunch of these Parker Washington. You got a bunch of these different cats, man. You know what I'm saying? That basically fit into that mold of Wandale Robinson, Richie James, Sterling Shepard type, man. That I wouldn't want to bring back either one of those guys. You got Wandale. If Wandale ain't ready or if he can't stay healthy, go get one of these other guys. You get him in the 3rd, 4th round, maybe. Get you and you get your guy in round 2 or round 1 or whatever. However you want to do it. It's a list of these guys. Pick your flavor. You know what I'm saying?
You need a veteran though with this group. You need a veteran to help teach these guys up. That's the only reason why maybe you bring back a James or a Shep, because they can help teach these guys up and coach them up, getting them ready for the NFL. And you need that with them. You can't just throw a whole bunch of young receivers out there, expect them to all play at a top level. They need to have somebody out there who's experienced to help them out, with the little things in the game. That's why, having a guy like Shep is so great, because he's literally like a coach. He can help out these young guys. He helped out Wandale, helped out Hodgins, and you need
some
a veteran
people want that to be OBJ.
I'll take that too. OBJ would be a good mentor for some of these kids.
If you're gonna bring back OBJ for what you think Slayton was probably gonna get, Jeff, which was $8-9 million a year, would you do that?
I got to see where OBJ is in terms of his rehab and how far along he looks. Take him for a private workout, see how he's running, and just see if he's lost any of that extra burst that he had. If he did, then no, I'm passing, because I'm not paying him $8-9 million for a guy that's not the same player he was before. It all depends on how he looks in like a private workout, like a private, training regimen, that kind of thing. So that's what I would base it on when it comes to him. Yeah, I heard about Colin Johnson making progress too, which makes me happy, because I liked him a lot. Like Hodgins. Him and Hodgins is good 6 foot, 6'4", 6'5".
So if you got those two guys, do you want to get another not smallish guy? I mean, I don't really want to get into these guys like measurables and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But do you want another more shifty guy? Is that because I feel like
I want depth.
Okay.
You can't trust these guys. They're all
Exactly.
every single one of these guys get hurt in our wide receiver position for the most
Scud
part.
Rafi. Scud
Hey,
Raphael.
Raf,
Appreciate
our
you
wide
coming in, man.
receiver, our wide receiver core has not been reliable for many, many years because nobody ever stays healthy. So I want to get as many bodies in here as possible and let them go out there and compete with each other, and the best player wins. So I would have no problem. You could bring back a Shep. You could bring back a Slayton or a Richie James. Then you could still go in the draft and draft one or two of these guys. And you could have, say, like, James and James or Shepard is like on a contract, but if they don't perform well, you could easily cut them after the season and let them go, or cut them at the end of training camp and let one of these younger guys take their spots, like something like that. Get as much depth in here as possible, especially the wide receiver position, which we all know has been literally like a position we all have to hold our fingers to make sure they don't get hurt. Y'all have no problem if they get at least 2 or 3 new wide receivers on this team. You bring back Colin Johnson as depth. You got Hodgins here. You bring back Shep as depth. You have Robinson coming back. Maybe you can get Slayton or James back. That's another guy. You get a couple of players in the draft or whatever free agency trade, whichever way they want to go, and then you just let these guys all go out there and battle it out, and the best 6 or maybe even 7 win. I wouldn't be surprised if this team could carry 7 receivers next year because of, the fact that they want to open it up a little bit more, and they're going to want to have a lot of receivers available for these games, especially for special teams too. Richie James, if I'm bringing back Richie James, I want him back as well as a special teamer. That's where his original role was supposed to be, as a consistent special teamer. He was not supposed to be the starting slot receiver, but because everybody kept getting hurt, and then obviously Tony getting traded, the dude had no choice but to play in the slot. So he was really like our 4th wide receiver starting at the slot receiver position, but he had to go in there and play because obviously Robinson and Shep went down, and then we traded away Tony, so he had to play. So, I mean, I would bring back Richie James more for a special teams value and as a depth wide receiver. If anything, Slayton as a deep threat guy, but I would just fill up that position and have as much depth as possible and let those guys go out there and compete, and the best 6 or 7 guys win, and they get the chance to make the roster.
Yeah, I agree, man. I can totally agree with that, man. Because this Giants team, man, has gotta get the wide receivers taken care of.
Yes.
Next week, I want to talk about the trenches. We want to talk about O-line, D-line. That's what we're gonna go next week. Making a note of that. Next week, y'all, y'all tuned in. Hopefully, Coach will be back. He is our college expert. We'll talk about the O-line, D-line, man, because this is where we got to get better, man. And speaking of D-line, man, your man Quentin Williams, you know what I'm saying? For the Jets. Don't look like he happy. He want to get paid. He been chirping a lot on social media, talking about holding out, man. So the Jets got some work to do with free agency. They are $2.8 million over the cap. So they got some cuts to make. And they got some signings to make. But the first thing they had to take care of was the OC position, because out is LaFleur and in is, as my man Jeffy say, Mr. Nathaniel cannot hack it. He is, of course, the former coach of the Denver Broncos, who have now hired one Mr. Sean Payton, giving up, was it a first and a second round for Mr. Payton?
I believe so, yeah.
Which was absolutely stupid. But well, we'll see. A team with no draft picks to give up draft picks for a coach in a division with the best QB in the planet. But okay. But never here nor there. Let's talk about the New York Jets, man. What is your thing about what is your first impression of Nathaniel Hackett and this hire, and what do you think what do you think about this hire? Do you think this signifies that they're maybe looking to bring back Zach Wilson and try to develop him, or is this pretty much signaling I can't talk to pretty much signaling that the Jets is going to go after a big name quarterback? And we're going to talk about the names in a minute, but what's your thought about initially about this Nathaniel Hackett hiring?
I think he's actually. We're all making fun of this guy, and rightly so, for him being a head coach and not being a very good one. But I think this guy's actually not that bad of an offensive coordinator. He might be falling in that position of not a very good head coach, but he's a very good coordinator. Like, a lot of these head coaches that fail in their first go around or second go around, they're just much better as coordinators than they are coaches. He's actually had some very good seasons as an offensive coordinator. I believe he was the offensive coordinator for the Jaguars when they went to the AFC Championship against the Patriots. I believe that was him when he was with Blake Bortles and Leonard Fournette and that team, DJ Chark. I think he was the OC over there during that time. So, I mean, the guy is not that bad of an OC, and he obviously did a very good job with the Green Bay Packers before he eventually got hired as the head coach. So this guy is not he's not a bad OC. He's got some pretty cool.
So let me ask you this:
on offense.
Do you think they move towards more of a run first team, given his success in was it Jacksonville? What did you say he was with Jacksonville?
I think he was with Jacksonville and he was with Green Bay.
Green Bay, yeah. So he was with Fournette and was it Jones, right? Aaron Jones?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so and AJ Dillon too.
And AJ Dillon, that's right. So what do you think about their overall philosophy that they may be trying to implement here?
He was the offensive coordinator from 2016 to 2018 with the Jaguars. Okay. Okay, so he was there. Well, it all depends really on the health of Breece Hall and the offensive line construction, because you can't you could be a great coach you can try to establish a running game, but you need the pieces out there in order for it to work. And right now, the Jets have a problem when it comes to their offensive line, and really, is how healthy is Breece Hall? I mean, he got hurt around the same time that we lost Wan'Dale Robinson. They lost Breece Hall. So, I mean, this guy is probably going to take at least another year until he's back up to where he was in his beginning of his rookie season. And also, their offensive line, they have a decent to pretty solid interior, even though Laken Tomlinson is looking like a bust of a free agent signing at left tackle. You also have an AVT coming off an injury. And let's just be real, this team doesn't have an offensive tackle to save their life. Their best position might be at center with McGovern. So they need help on that offensive line. So you could try to establish a running game, but the Jets right now, they don't have the personnel on the offensive line and even at running back right now with Breece Hall coming back from a serious injury to really implement that type of style. So I think that he might have to try to be more of a passing offense. And a lot is going to depend on the quarterback that he has to use. And, I mean, we already heard what Joe Namath said, that he's willing to unretire his number 12 for a certain guy that plays over there in Green Bay to let him come over here and be the quarterback of the Jets. So it all is really going to depend on the health of Breece Hall as well as the offensive line construction and what the Jets do in free agency and the draft to build up this offensive line to protect their quarterback and also be able to allow Nathaniel Hackett to be able to run his offense the way he sees fit.
So the Jets,
no, he couldn't.
He could not at all, man. Oh boy. So Fant, I guess he's gone. McGovern. So that's two pieces that they have that are free agents on the offensive line.
Is Dwayne Brown a free agent too? Their left tackle?
I believe so. I think I seen him on this list.
You still got Becton. Can you
Yeah.
trust Becton?
Negative.
No. I mean, he's still there. They'll probably try him out again as a tackle, probably a right tackle for the team.
Of course, Rankins is a free agent. Quan Alexander, Solomon Thomas, Quincy Williams. So I mean, they got a couple guys. They don't have any cat room. And they don't have no cat room, so
They'll cut some guys.
I think they're gonna have to cut some guys. Oh man,
I see them cutting Corey Davis. I think he's
Corey
at the top
Davis,
of the list.
that was one of them.
Maybe even they cut C.J. Mosley. They can maybe
C.J.
cut
Mosley was another guy. Yeah,
one of their safeties, LaMarcus Joyner, is their safeties are both free agents, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think it's Whitehead and Joyner are both free agents, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
So they could
Jordan Whitehead. Yep.
Yeah, they can let both those guys go. So they need a safety.
Wow.
So, and then they could maybe restructure or try to extend some of the current players on their team. They obviously have to deal with Quentin Williams. I mean, that's number one. You cannot let this dude. You have to take care of him. The dude had a tremendous season. We talk about Dex being good. Quentin Williams was as good as Dexter Lawrence. I mean, this guy was tremendous for the Jets last year. So they got to take care of him. I mean, they got a lot of. Their whole linebacking core could be different.
Yeah, they got a lot. They got a lot of players. That they got to take care of, man. So, now where are the Jets picking in the draft?
I think they're like 12 or 13.
Jets.
I think they're at the high teens.
Yeah.
Let's see. NFL draft order picks 1 to 20.
13th.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they're 13th.
Yeah, they're 13th. They come right after the Houston Texans' second pick.
Okay, so they may be looking at going with a tackle. And they got this one mock draft has Peter Snorowski.
Oh, the kid from he's good.
Yeah,
he's really good at offensive tackle. I think he's from Kansas State.
Yeah,
he's really good. That'd be an excellent pickup for the Jets if they can get him at left tackle.
Yeah, no, from Northwestern. Yeah,
Northwestern. That's it.
Northwestern.
Yes.
Northwestern.
Yeah,
Skowronek,
he's I think his name is.
Yeah, Skoronski. He's 6'4", 315 pounds. And then in round 2, they have him taking Rashee Rice. Ooh, that'd be sick. Him and Garrett Wilson.
And Elijah Moore.
Ooh, man.
Oh my God. Have fun stopping that offense. That's like Cincinnati. That's Cincinnati.
Yeah, man.
My God.
They'd
have 3 number ones on that team. Oh my God. They don't even need Rashee Rice unless they plan on trading Elijah Moore.
Yeah.
And they put Berrios in the slot or something.
Yeah, that's I think that's double dipping a little bit on the Jets, man. But
God, that'd be sick.
What are you what you thinking here, man? With the Jets, man. You thinking they going after now? I'm hearing they going in on Lamar Jackson or possibly Aaron Rodgers. Those are the targets right now. Do you think they get either one? Do you or which one do you feel like has the best chance of being a New York Jet quarterback, or is there another guy that you think ends up going there?
Well, between those two guys, I'm taking Aaron Rodgers strictly because of the fact that his OC is there with the Jets. I mean, his former OC is in New York with the Jets, and I think that I just don't see Baltimore just letting Lamar Jackson go. I do think if anything, they will franchise him and keep him on that team. So I'm not expecting Lamar Jackson to leave Baltimore. I think they'd be nuts to be able to let him go because let's just be real, Tyron Huntley or Huntley's not the answer. I don't know how that dude became a Pro Bowler. That's just how bad, that's how low the AFC quarterbacks must have sunk and how much guys decide not to go. If Huntley is making the Pro Bowl, that's now you can't take the Pro Bowl seriously. Seriously, if Huntley is
Right.
making the Pro Bowl,
That's bull. That's
yeah,
that's crazy, man.
that's
That's
when I heard
crazy.
about that. That's just like a friggin'
I mean, the
joke.
better
I
off
can't
give it
take
to Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, exactly. Just let him
to
be a
give it
guy
to the
that.
starting guy.
Yeah, just let him be the Pro Bowler. But no, we're gonna give it to Huntley. He played like what 7-8 games this year. But you're a Pro
Two
Bowler. You're
touchdown
good enough.
passes, man. Hey, come
Yeah,
on
and he
now.
did, and he fumbled the ball against the Bengals that cost his team the
Right.
game. So, I mean, I think that I mean every indication you hear is that it sounds like the Packers are going to trade Rodgers. I mean, it just sounds like that they're open to trading Rodgers. That the contract is too much. They think that Rodgers is starting to decline a little bit. That they're ready to move on from him, and maybe they just finally want to get a look at Jordan Love and see what the kid can do at quarterback while they still have him on his rookie deal. So I think Rodgers is more likely the guy. I don't know about Derek Carr. It's weird because the Raiders just said that again, like they didn't request. They're not letting him request a trade. You've been talking about this guy leaving, and he wrote out a
Right.
heartfelt letter saying that he wants to. That he's like thanking the Raiders organization. Yet you haven't requested him permission to seek a trade. What is going on with that organization over there? So I just think that it's going to be. I just think Rodgers and the Jets just makes too much sense. And the fact that Joe Willie Namath said he is willing to unretire his number 12 jersey to let Aaron Rodgers take it and be part of this Jets team. And let's just be real. Rodgers
All right,
with
bookends.
have a good night, bookends. Rodgers with the weapons that the Jets have. Can you imagine him with like a Garrett Wilson and an Elijah Moore?
Oh
You
my
still have
goodness.
Corey Davis. You have Conklin. You have
And
Azama.
what about Jackson Smith and Jigba? Like I'm hearing they might go after him. Like if man, yo,
Reunite him with his teammate from Ohio State.
yeah, Garrett Wilson. And they said that he was better than both of them, him and Chris Olave. So
I don't know about that. I thought Wilson and I like Smith and Jigba gets hurt too much. That's the problem with him.
Yeah,
I think
I don't want a
Olave
guy that gets
and
hurt.
no, I'm not near the Giants, and I like Smith and Jigba, but he just gets hurt way too much. I got my eyes on a couple of other wide receivers from Ohio State in the following draft.
Oh yeah, I know you're talking about.
But I mean, do the Jets really need to go
He
wide
said New
receiver
York.
again?
Yeah, that's their new name. They talk about the Knicks. Oh
Yeah.
man, that team
What's
is
going on, Barry?
awful.
Yeah,
What's
they
good,
suck.
Barry?
They suck. But yeah, I mean, do the Jets really need to prioritize an wide receiver? I know you want to go BPA, but you're so rich already at that position, and you badly need. They badly need offensive line help. They
Yeah,
badly need
you got
safeties.
Paris Johnson. I'm hearing his name linked to them. Jackson Smith. Of course, they could go that route.
Yeah. Or just get a
You could,
receiver in free agency. Get a good
yeah,
receiver in free agency to replace Davis. You don't need
Yeah, I would go that route. They could go edge, I guess. Because I heard Carl Lawson is probably going to get cut from there.
Yeah,
So
I heard that too. They might cut Lawson.
They got some options there. But yeah. I if I'm them, I'm going to get Lamar. I just feel like go get Lamar Jackson, man. Make it easy. You know what I'm saying? Not make it easy, but make it simple, man, and build around him, man. If you can get Aaron Rodgers, I guess. But I don't know, man. Something about Aaron Rodgers being in New York. I don't know, man. I don't like Aaron Rodgers' personality. Um,
Not going to
and
end well.
I don't think, and then you got Mr. Can't Hack It, and shit. Yeah, he was just offensive coordinator, but we know how Aaron Rodgers and the relationship he's had with offensive coordinators has not been great.
No, it has not.
That guy's just not a good teammate, man. And shit, if you're trying to win a championship, it's a reason why Aaron Rodgers, as great as he is, only has one ring. It's a reason why Mike McCarthy only has one ring, because neither one of those guys are really good. They just got, you know what I'm saying? They struck good together. I mean, Aaron Rodgers is good, but I just think that, like, as far as like what it takes to be a champion, I don't think he really has that in him. He just has a lot of talent. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're looking at guys like what's my man name? Pat Mahomes. You know what I'm saying? Like, Mahomes got talent, but he played like a champion at the same time. You know what I'm
Oh, he was
saying?
great on Sunday.
Yeah, man, because you know what I'm saying. So that's the thing about it. Aaron Rodgers, he got similar talents, not as good in my opinion, but he doesn't play. He doesn't have that championship mentality, man. So
Mm-hmm.
I think the Jets would just be delaying the inevitable, which is trying to go get another rookie franchise quarterback. Um,
Yeah.
unless they go get Lamar Jackson,
And
because Lamar Jackson's still young
you're
and you
not you're
can
not
really build around him.
you're not gonna like what I'm gonna say about this, and I honestly believe the Eagles are gonna win the Super Bowl. I do think they're the better team than Kansas City. I just think that Kansas City showed me some things in that game that I would be worried about going against Philadelphia. I know Philly didn't play against, they played against a weak wide receiver core against the Giants, and they played against a team that had no quarterback with San
Mm-hmm.
Francisco, but that team is very, very good, and they're deep. And I really believe that they will be able to be able to take care of the weaknesses on Kansas City that a team like Cincinnati wasn't able to exploit. So I mean, it makes me, oh God, I'm getting ill just thinking about it. But I really believe that Philly is going to win the Super Bowl. I just think they're the better team, and I think that they are gonna the offensive and defensive lines are gonna be the reason why they're gonna win. They're so deep, and they can rotate all those guys. And that pass rush, if you can keep Mahomes in that pocket, and the Eagles have a ton of guys that can get to the quarterback. They did it against San Francisco's offensive line, who is
Mm-hmm.
better than the Chiefs. That's why I think that that Mahomes is going to struggle, because that ankle is not going to be better in 2 weeks.
Mm-mm.
He's going to struggle on that ankle. So I just think that the Eagles are going to they're going to have their way against that Chiefs offensive line, and
Well,
they're going to get home to Mahomes.
I've been saying, I think I said this a while back. I said that whoever won, which I thought San Francisco was going to win the game, but
I did too.
their quarterback got hurt. So,
I feel so bad for Purdy.
but I felt like whoever was going to win the NFC, I felt like that of the Giants. If the Giants somehow got past the Eagles and 49ers, yeah, whoever came out of the NFC, because the lines are better. Now, Kansas City has a really good line, and Spags is an excellent defensive coordinator. That's going to be an interesting matchup. Spags versus Jalen Hurts and those two receivers. Spags has been notoriously known for shutting down high-powered offenses in big playoff games. So,
Yes.
he did that. I think you kind of overlooking that a little bit, and what made me kind of wake up to that was what coach was the way we talked when we talked about the game with Kansas City and Cincinnati last week, me, you, and coach. And we were talking about the matchups, and coach was talking about, how Kansas City's line, how they can run the football. They can get it done. Their line is good. You know what I'm saying? Their line can be physical at the point of attack. With the kid Pacheco.
Oh, Pacheco,
So
yeah,
Pacheco, I
he
mean,
was
yeah.
great. He was
So
great in that game.
don't sleep on their run game if Mahomes is still a little hobbled. You know what I'm saying? And Andy Reid, against Philadelphia in the Super Bowl, a team he could never get it done with. Um, that's going to be interesting storyline, of course. And then of course, the Kelsey brother storyline or whatever. But from a matchup
Yeah.
standpoint, it's a mismatch um with the Philadelphia um lines, you would think, but then you look over on the other side, man, they got big old Chris Jones over there. Like that cat, man. Chris Jones
He's really good.
is, yeah. I
He's great.
mean,
He's great.
he is a game record, man. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's something else. That's gonna be an interesting matchup.
Him
I
versus
do feel
Jason
like,
Kelsey. Ooh, that's gonna
yeah,
be a good matchup.
yeah, I do feel like Philly is a stronger team overall. Just because of their line play. I'm not even worried about the corners. I mean the receivers going off and AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, and you know what I'm saying. Them going crazy. The problem is going to be is um Kansas City's been playing finesse teams. They played Jacksonville, who they were still a young team anyway, and they, Doug Peterson, they a little bit more of a passing team. Trevor Lawrence, they was kind of throwing the ball a lot.
Yeah.
And then they get behind in games a lot. So that was a good matchup for Kansas City. And then you have the Cincinnati Bengals with their banged up offensive line and them trying to, they like to throw the ball a lot. They don't never commit to the running game, because of Joe Burrow and they got all these receivers. I think that was a bad matchup. This matchup here against a power running team, look, we gave Kansas City fits last year. I don't know if they if they could take a team like this Philadelphia Eagles team. I hate to say it just as much as you, but look, if you're looking at the matchup and Los Chris Jones and Karlaftis and
And
what's my other
Clark.
man's and Clark over there can shut down that Philly run game, they're gonna get smoked like everybody else, man. Because
Yeah.
that line is man. Like Lane Johnson, like these guys, man, have been playing together for a minute. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like, and their line has been gelling for a minute, man. And they Philly been working on this line for a while, and they
Yeah.
keep replenishing it. You know what I'm saying? I want the Giants to do the same thing. That's why I was telling you earlier, Jeff. Don't rely on these rookies to come back. You go get other guys. So if these
Oh, I
guys
agree
ain't
with you
ready,
100%. I agree with you
yeah,
100% when it
you know what
comes
I'm
to that.
saying?
And that's the one thing with the Eagles and why I think that they will win, because look at Chris Jones and that pass rush and the offensive lines that were going against before. Jacksonville is not really a very good offensive line.
Mm-hmm.
They're decent, they're
Exactly.
solid. And let's just be real. Cincinnati's offensive line, you and
Mm.
I can go pass rush against that offensive line. We would get
It's
we would get
terrible.
sacks. The Eagles' offensive line is the best offensive line in the National Football League. They're the
Yep.
best. They have continuity. Landon
Yeah.
Dickerson has been terrific at left guard. Mailata is a very good left tackle. Lane Johnson is a potential Hall of Famer at right tackle. Kelsey's a Hall of Famer at center. And even Sayamalu is very good at right guard. And then Goddard, and we talk about
Mm-hmm.
Devontae Smith and AJ Brown. Dallas Goddard is a top tight end in this NFL. He's really good. And then you know who I've really been impressed with watching in the Eagles? Gainwell. Kenneth Gainwell
Kenneth
is running
Gainwell, yeah.
hard up the middle. Pause.
Yeah.
This dude is like, like Pacheco. He's just going right up the middle and he's running hard. He's picking up those
Mm-hmm.
extra yards. He's getting towards the
And then they
second and
switch it
third
up with
level.
Scott, and
And
then they got
Sanders.
Sanders to switch them out, man.
And you got Hurts, and you have Goddard. Over this team is
Yeah.
just loaded
Running
everywhere on
team.
that team. So that's why I just think that they are so loaded offensively. And on the defensive line, you got Hassan Reddick, you got Josh Sweat, you got Brandon Graham, you got Ndamukong Suh, Linval Joseph, Fletcher Cox, Javon Hargrave, Jordan Davis, Milton
Mm-hmm.
Williams. They are loaded all over that defensive line. They can rotate everybody in and out, keep them fresh. and then you can have different guys coming from different side. They can blitz a cornerback. We know how good Slay and Bradbury are. C.J. Gardner-Johnson. I can't believe I know all these players in the Eagles. That's what happens when you know a lot of Eagles fans. You pick up this stuff. But, they are so loaded. And just watching that game, I don't even care who they had at quarterback at that point. I really believe that the Eagles were just going to have their way because they were going against a very good San Francisco line. And I saw even Mike McGlinchey at right tackle, who has not been great this year, but he's normally been a top right tackle. Hassan Reddick was just absolutely destroying him on that one side. And even Trent Williams had lost his damn mind at the end.
He lost his mind, man.
Oh, my God. He went nuts.
Me and my wife was laughing about that one. I said, like, he just picked the dude up and just dropped him, yo. Like, he had enough of that shit, man. That showboating Eagle shit, man. Trent Williams said, enough of that shit. I'm done, son. Take showboat this.
Yeah.
Like, bruh, hold this.
Yeah, seriously. Like, the goddamn showboating the entire time. It made me sick watching that. They didn't even have to pass the football. The Eagles have not even had to pass the football for 2 weeks because of the fact that their running game and their defense have been so dominant.
And so when we talk about the running game and then the old line, everybody does what, Jeff? They want to talk about the quarterback. He's not even passing the football. And they went there in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts has not passed for over 200 yards this whole playoffs.
No. Jalen Hurts, Devontae Smith, A.J. Brown, and Dallas Goedert have all had to, they haven't had to do much. And imagine when they actually get going. When they get going, I mean, Kansas City's going to try as hard as they can to shut down that run. I don't think their cornerbacks are going to be able to stop Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown and Goddard.
I think, though, for real, though, I think San Francisco had the right formula, but they was getting punished by the refs. I was like, oh my God. It was ticky tack. It was ticky tacky the
refing this weekend was both games.
Yeah, they did have the formula, man, but that defense got worn down because that offense could do nothing, man. They could not do nothing. They couldn't even pass the ball. Literally, they could not pass the ball because the quarterback, he was done. And why is Josh Johnson still playing football?
I don't know. That's a desperation move. And when I was watching the game with my mom during my birthday on Sunday, I'm like sitting there like, oh my God, is Christian McCaffrey or Kyle Juszczyk actually going to go out there and play quarterback? Because Purdy, I mean, after hearing about why the guy couldn't throw, he has a freaking torn UCL. No wonder why he couldn't throw. I feel terrible for that kid. I mean, that kid just had to sit there and just hand the ball off or do little dump passes. And at this point, you might as well take your chance putting Juszczyk in there as your quarterback because there was no. I want to talk about this too. You think now after the whole thing that happened with San Francisco? With all the injuries at quarterback, do you think now the NFL is going to make a league-wide rule that you have to have 3 quarterbacks active on every single game? Now they were talking about that too, that they're going to require 3 quarterbacks to be active every single game day because of what happened with San Francisco. And we know how the league loves those rule changes. They did it last year with Buffalo and Cincinnati.
And
they
so
added
you know why they doing that, Jeff?
What's that?
Because they know that the league is shifting to a running quarterback. Yep. And they know that in order to keep ratings going, they can't have it to where look what happened to us. It happened to us in what game was it? The Jacksonville game? Was that the game Saquon Barkley and then went Wildcat? Towards the end of the game to close it out.
When Jones got hurt, he sprained his ankle.
Yeah. So we had the same thing. Then Tyrod Taylor got knocked out with the concussion. And Barkley had to come in at QB.
I think it was the Texans or the Ravens game. No, it wasn't the Ravens game.
No, I think it was either Jaguars or Texans.
Because we were at home when that happened.
Yeah.
It wasn't Jacksonville because we played in Jacksonville.
Then it was the Texan game.
Yeah, it was the Texans.
But yeah, that's what we had to do, man. And but that's what it is, Jeff, the running quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Because you got, like we said, you got Jalen Hurts, Pat Mahomes in the Super Bowl. You got guys like Daniel Jones, you got guys like Kyler Murray, Lamar Jackson. These guys that get hurt, Josh Allen, a lot of these guys, they run the football a lot, you know what I'm saying? Like seven, 400 to 700 yards rushing. Daniel Jones got 700 yards rushing, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't think our running backs got that last year. You know what I'm saying? So, like the quarterback running is a big thing, and when you have a big quarterback, what do most teams do? Like when they have a runner, when they have a running back like Barkley, you gonna have to have another valuable backup for your franchise quarterback because he's gonna get hurt. You know what I'm saying? These guys get hurt, man. So I think that's what they looking at. Do I like it? I don't know if I care. I think if you take that chance, because I always felt like that. I'm like, if you take the chance to roll with two quarterbacks, because remember, it was years Tom Coughlin went with three quarterbacks.
Yeah.
But if you take that chance to roll with two quarterbacks and your guy gets hurt, so be it, man. I mean, you got to finish out the game. That's part of the game. But they trying to make football so soft.
Yeah, well,
So
we all complain about that. I mean, how soft the NFL is becoming because of player safety and stuff. So, I mean, yeah, some of those calls on the weekend. This is probably one of the worst officiated weekends I've seen with these referees. I mean, every single second there was a call that just made you pull out your hair. It was
it's
annoying as hell.
WWE. When
I
you
can't
guys watch
stand it.
wrestling, it feels like football. I listen to you guys watching. It feels like a football room, man.
Yeah,
It's the unbelievable. I can't believe that. Yeah, a lot
it's
of it is
annoying as hell.
unbelievable.
But there's there's other Giants news we didn't talk about. Remember the Tampa Bay Buccaneers did interview our quarterbacks coach Shea Tierney for their OC position. So they just concluded that. So the Bucks, they're looking for an offensive coordinator now after they let Byron Leftwich go, and Shea Tierney is one of their targets. So it's a possibility we could lose our quarterbacks coach too. I mean, like we said, no Giants fan should be surprised after how much we quote unquote overachieved this year that teams are going to look and go directly at our coaching staff and try to pluck our guys away because of how well we were coached this year. So I would not be shocked in the least if at least one or two of our coaches are off this team during this offseason.
Appreciate you coming by, man.
Thank you, Matt.
Appreciate you, man. We're going.
That was an interesting nugget too, with the whole Shea Tierney thing. I didn't expect that one. So,
what do you?
Maybe the Bucks.
So Shea Tierney, quarterbacks coach now. Him and Kafka, getting interviews now. Here's the way I look at it: we are a lot closer to our division rivals on defense than we are on offense.
Yes.
And so I think you want to keep you damn sure want to keep continuity on the defensive end. You know what I'm saying? So if you can keep much continuity, because we already know our whole wide receiver core gonna get scrapped. You may lose the quarterback, you may lose the running back, you may lose both the coordinators. So that's why they talk about giving Wink Martindale head coaching money, because you definitely don't want to lose him on top of all that. You want to keep continuity on one side of the ball so that the Giants can get back to New York Giants football if they can get back to being a power force on defense. And I think there's a pretty good path for them to do that. We kind of laid it out here, man, partially. We're going to do these position by position outlooks, going on, moving forward in the future. And then maybe I'll put some graphics together coming up, man. But definitely think if you want to compete with the Philadelphia Eagles and you want to close the gap there, you know what I'm saying? You got to improve your defense, particularly your run defense. You know what I'm saying? Because if you can turn Jalen Hurts into a pocket passer, then you even them up, and you probably are better than them on offense. You know what I'm saying? So I think we're closer building a defense that can stop them than building an offense that's going to go up and down the field on their defense. So, and it, yeah, so that's how I'm looking at it, Jeff. So to me, if Tyranny leaves, Kafka leaves, I won't like it. You know what I'm saying? For the guys that are coming back, you know, Daniel Jones, you know, Wandale Hodgins, whoever else they bring back on offense, Barkley. So I wouldn't like it from that standpoint, but I know Dable's a smart coach and he has a plan.
Yeah.
He probably knew Kafka was going to get some head coaching traction, you know, turning Daniel Jones around. That's really why he's getting it, is because of Daniel Jones. Because everyone says that the quarterback sucks, but yet the coach is getting interviews from everyone because they turned the quarterback around. You know what I mean? So,
And he had the slowest wide receivers in the NFL, and probably not a tight end. But I have an interesting rumor that I heard. I don't know if it's true, but the Giants may be looking to trade for a guy in the Raiders, Darren Waller.
Yeah, I heard that.
He is great. He gets hurt a lot, but the dude is one of the top tight ends in football. He's an explosive playmaker, and I think it would be better for Bellinger as a number 2. I don't know if Bellinger's a 1. I think he's a really solid number 2, and he can concentrate more as a blocker.
But Darren Waller, what kind does he do? Much blocking?
Yes, I think he does.
He's a decent blocker, right?
But if you get,
he
could be your straight
he's
line
good at
tight end
receiver.
in the middle.
Yeah, I know he's good at receiving, but yeah.
You could have Bellinger be your blocker, and you could have Waller be your in-line tight end like Ingram was supposed to be. And he's better than Ingram. So
which would you have to give up for him, though? Yeah.
See, that's the thing. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what the compensation would be, and he does have a decent-sized contract.
Yeah, I'm not going nowhere near no high pick.
No. No, I don't think you have to give up a high pick for him. Maybe like a 3rd, 4th.
I'd give up a 3rd, one of the thirds.
We do have multiple 3rds, yeah. So
I'd give up one of the 3rds for him. I'd think about it.
Yeah, they need to shed some salary too.
He changes your offense. You know what I'm saying? Because we talk about receivers, but you know the tight end is part of the receiving group. So, as are the running backs. You know, we can upgrade from Matt Breida. I like Breida though. But you know, maybe they look to bring in somebody else. If they bring Saquon Barkley back, maybe they cut salary there and get a rookie backup. You know what I'm saying? Because they're gonna have to pay Barkley. So that's another thing to look out for.
An interesting thing too, Xavier McKinney apparently switched agents recently. So it's very interesting with him. He's going into his contract year next year, so that might be something to look at too.
With McKinney?
No, I didn't get the chance to see it yet.
Yeah, he had an interview, and he was just kind of talking about the season and everything. But go check out his interview. I'll see if I could pull up the link. But
he's eligible for an extension this offseason. He's switching to a super free, so he's looking to get the bag.
He wants to get paid.
To a super engine, yeah.
But I don't know if they're gonna bring back Julian Love. I'm starting to get the feeling that it's gonna be that Belton's their guy. That they want to move forward with. And since they got McKinney in the building and they don't have to worry about his contract technically till next season, I think they let Love walk and try to bring make McKinney their top safety, or possibly look to trade him when if he's going to make a fuss about a contract, then maybe they could trade him and draft behind him in the next coming draft. So that's something else to look out for too.
I worry about his injuries. He gets hurt. He has gotten hurt a good amount during his career.
He spent most of his rookie season injured.
And that's why I like Love. The dude is always on the field. He might not be as good of a player. He won't command as much money, but the dude is always on the field playing. He never gets hurt. He's like Dex, and he's always playing. And we always complain about injuries. Every single one of us complain about injuries, and Julian Love is on the field every single game.
And
every game
I
you
made
can count
that
on 20 being there.
I made that same argument last offseason about why Slayton needed to be on this team, because all we complain about is injuries from certain positions by certain guys, but yet still us Giants fans have so much loyalty to the players that we like that we want to see them come back regardless if it's worth or good for the team or not, So
I want
I said
Slayton
the
back
same
last
thing.
season too. You convinced me. You were right. The fact that Slayton should have come back, and I feel the same thing. I honestly feel the same way about Love, that his positional value is just too important to let go, because
I
he's not
want
just a
Love back.
safety.
I do.
He's a versatile player, and he's a special teamer, and he's a captain. We can't just keep letting captains and good players out of this locker room all the time. So,
But you can't pay everybody though, and they not gonna pay two safeties.
Are you going to
I
pay
can tell you that
McKinney
right
top
now.
dollar, though, for a guy that's had trouble staying healthy? Are you going to be willing to pay him top dollar? That's the thing.
That's why I think they might not pay him either.
Let them both go?
They might say fuck it and bring back Belton, develop him, keep McKinney for next year, and then flip him for a pick. Because you don't have to do nothing with his contract this year. He still has 2 years left.
Who, McKinney?
McKinney.
No, he's a free agent after next season. He's got 1 year left. No, he's going into his free agent year next year. That's why he switched agents. He was a second-round pick in 2020.
So this is his free agents year?
No, next year is. He
That's
came
what I'm
out
saying. Yeah, so
he's going into his free agent year. So he's got 1 year left on his deal.
Hold up.
Like Love is a free agent this year. McKinney's a free agent after next season. He's not a free agent in 2024. He's a free agent. I mean, he's a free agent in 2024. Like Love is a free agent in 2023. So, and he's already switched to a high-priced agent. So he's looking for the bag. And how much you'd be willing to pay as safety. As much as we like McKinney, he hasn't exactly been, the guy that's been healthy all the time. So I'd be a little weary paying a safety. And how much? The question is, how much does Joe Shane value the safety? As much as they like McKinney and how good is he?
How you feel about a guy like Justin Pinnock?
I like Pinnock too.
You know what I'm saying? Because
I
think Belton,
he's a good depth piece.
Yeah, I think maybe you get Belton right, man, and you can put Belton in that McKinney role, and have Pinnock as your Roman box safety, your blitzer. And maybe you bring another kid in, or maybe you go out and get a free agent that's cheaper.
It's just the safety one is the toughest one. That's why I really like both Julian Love and Xavier McKinney a lot. And Belton, he showed signs, but the kid's still got a lot to prove. And we know that Love and McKinney are both very good players. So, I mean, it's so tough. I know you can't pay both of them, but they're so important to this defense. It's hard to let them both go. And they're captains, too. That's the most difficult part. They're two of your leaders, and you just talked about continuity on the defense. Those are two of your leaders in the back of that defense. That one of them is probably not going to be here, and Adori's not exactly the guy you look at health too. That's why you just look at health. That's why it's so hard to let Julian Love go. He's the one guy you could trust out there that will be on the field. Belton got hurt. Pinnock got hurt. McKinney's gotten hurt. Adori's gotten hurt. Aaron Robinson's gotten hurt. Darnay Holmes got hurt. The one guy that never got hurt was Julian Love. He was always out there. That's why it's like we always complain about health. Are you going to let a guy that's played very well, has gotten better every year, as much as because of McKinney, he has gotten better, and he's versatile, and he's a captain on the team. Would you let him go? That's the thing. It's a tough decision.
It depends on how much money he wants.
I don't think he's going to command as much as we think. I don't know if Julian Love's going to command a lot.
I don't know. I don't know if you bring him back with McKinney. The thing is, when you watch the film, though, McKinney does bring a different a different type. He's a different type of talent.
Like
The
different skill
ability,
sets. Yeah.
yeah, the ability to go to sideline. McKinney does have that ability to mirror some tight ends and some um running backs. You've seen him do it with Hawkinson. You've seen him do it with who was it early in the season? Was it Christian McCaffrey?
Yes. Yes, it was.
Yeah. So he does give you a different dynamic. And if you get you some damn linebackers, then maybe you can put him back in his true role as a Roman free safety. So it's intriguing. I like Julian Love. I don't think he fits that free safety mode. So if you're looking for a guy to that covers, then you're gonna be dependent on Dane Belton to do that. So
He's good against the run though too. Love is our
that's
best.
why
He's our
I
best open
want
field tackler on the team.
right. That's why I'd rather keep Belton and get rid of Love because Belton can do what Love can do, but neither Belton nor Love can do what McKinney can do. That's
No.
the thing.
Well, it's just really going to be interesting because Joe Shane sounds like that they want to keep Love. It sounds like the guys that we talked about the press conference that Shane did. The guys that he talked a lot about and he had a lot of glowing remarks about were obviously Dexter, Daniel Jones, Sterling Shepard, Julian Love, Leonard Williams. Like they were talking glowingly about these guys. It could just be like, talk is cheap. Like say we have Barkley where they didn't talk as glowingly about Barkley, saying he's a good player, but some of those words caught me and because of the fact they tried to work out an extension with Julian Love already before, seems like they really want to keep this guy. So that's why I think his value is not going to be as high, and I think they will try to keep him.
I was actually I had a conversation. I was talking to shout out to Chris the Entertainer. And he was saying was what he thought that the reason they talked to Barkley and McKinney during the bye week because they had a number for those guys. So they are, you see what I'm saying? So they wanted to get,
good point. Yeah.
They wanted to get those guys out the way. They came to those guys like, look, this is what we think Barkley's came out. It was 12 and a half. I don't know what they offered Love, but neither deal got done. You know what I'm saying? So obviously those players are looking to go get a little bit more money, which is why Julian Love's status is up in the air because if the Giants had a contract for him and Joe Shane had something ready for him and they were trying to get a deal because they do want him back. I agree with you, but they want him back at their price. It's the same thing with Saquon Barkley. Okay. You know what I'm saying? The only difference is they can use the tag on, so they can use the tag on Love too, but they're not going to do that. They're going to tag Barkley and they're going to let Love, test free agency. And then if he can't get a better deal, then you'll see him back in the Giants uniform at their price.
It says that his average salary would be around $8 million. That's what Spot.
That sounds about right. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Would you be willing to pay Julian Love around that type, like a $7-8 million contract per year? It's not a lot. It's not, it's not a lot of money. It's under 10.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm gonna look at Xavier McKinney's average.
I don't know about that.
McKinney's is going to be a lot higher. He's good. He's not that bad. He's a good safety.
McKinney's probably going to be in 10, 11 million maybe. I'll probably get that Tremaine Edmonds bag for his position.
Yeah. It's really just dependent on we also have to figure how much they value the safety position. Because, that's also got to factor into things, too, is what does Joe Shane and Brandon Brown think of the safety position? And a lot of people think that you can go through safeties and, just recycle them through the draft, which would make Julian Love and Xavier McKinney not exactly, as
I
high
think
a
if you
priority as
building
we think.
a Wink Martindale defense, you want a guy like McKinney in that defense. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I think that and then if you go get a guy like Trenton Simpson from the linebacker position, you can do so many different things with those two guys just because their athleticism and their ability to cover. Like all these tight ends and run, that shit stops. When you fix your linebacker when you fix the linebacker position, man, and you get safeties that can tackle and you get cornerbacks that can tackle because Wink Martindale wants to play that man coverage. You know what I'm saying? So you got to be able to tackle. Now, Julian Love can tackle, and that's good, but he cannot cover well. And my man was losing a lot. He got exposed in that Philly game. That the was it the Devontae Smith touchdown? And I guess shit gets picked off if that's McKinney because it's his ability, man. That's when I seen about Julian Love that I'm like, yeah, maybe he's not as good as I thought he was. You know what I'm saying? He looks
I'm
good,
not gonna
but
look at that one
he
play.
looks good. Well, you can even look in the
The second Philly game, well, everybody on that, and you know
yeah,
what? Everybody on
in
that
the
defense was not good. McKinney was not good either.
the
The entire
yeah,
defense was bad in
yeah,
that second Philly game.
but you looking at you're looking at how they covering, you know what I'm saying, and then you just seeing that Julian Love is going to struggle in those roles, man. And look, man, we're going against these teams that have speed. When we talking about this speed, man, so I don't know, man. He's a good leader. He's a good guy to have on deep, but I think that dudes can get the bag, man. I think like him, Slayton. I think some of these guys are just
He'd
they've
be one of the guys. Yeah, that would be
priced themselves
gone.
out of the Giants range. I think because Joe Shane's going to be smart with his money. He's not going to dub all these contracts like Dave Gettleman at positions that can be either you got guys on the team that you feel good about, or you can get a guy in free agency or the draft that can
Here are the top
supplement that
safeties.
position.
Here are the top safeties in free agency. You got Jesse Bates, who's probably the best one out of the group.
Good.
Jordan Poyer, Jimmy Ward, Adrian Amos, Devin McCourty. I can't believe he's still a free agent. Von Bell, Eric Rowe, Jonathan Abram, Clayton Fitzgerald, LaMarcus Joyner, Marcus Allen, Tremaine Edmonds' brother, Terrell Edmonds, twin brother, AJ Moore, Andrew Wingard. I mean, I'm looking at this list. Julian Love's not even the top when it comes to all these guys. So, I mean, it's not out of the question that Julian Love's all the way down towards the bottom. His market value is not that high.
So, and that's the thing, though. So Joe Shane is telling you that $8 million, either Julian Love wants more and thinks he's worth more, or they gave him a low offer.
Possible happen.
So that's what we're gonna see what happened. We're gonna see what happened. But we got a lot like crowd tonight, man. So I'm gonna close it out, get some rest. I've been working a lot.
Same thing. No, it's all good, man. Don't worry about it. Hopefully we hear from Coach soon too.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with Coach, man, but I hope Coach is well. I hope everything's well with Coach, man.
Yeah.
And we are a family, and we take care of our people, man. So definitely missing Coach this show, man. Show is never gonna be same without Coach.
No.
So but we gonna pull up, man. He would want us to do that. So but I'm sure he's doing well, man. But Tommy, man, appreciate Tommy coming through, man. Sorry we was a little late, man, but like I said, I'm putting something something together, man. Really nice, man. I'm not going to spoil the surprise, but I've been working really hard on that, and that's part of what I'm doing in the background. But as you see the score, Lakers beat the Knicks, 129-123. RJ Barrett, Julius Randle, the two villains, they did not have good games. Jalen Brunson, the Knicks hero, did his thing, but Knicks up and down as usual, up and down team, man. Shout out to Big Fan Breezy. Shout out to Wifey. Shout out to Levance, man. Shout out to Wells. Shout out to Taj, man. Shout out to King Jers. Big shout out to Tudo. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my guy, Bookend Tackles, man. And my man, Miss Ronnie Rivers, and my man, Earl Cole, man. I think we got everybody, man. Of course, man, my brother Mac, the Giants fan. Go sub to Mac. Of course, he do that NFC East roundup. I don't know. They still gonna be doing it? I guess so, because the Eagles is still in it. So yeah, I think they
tomorrow. I
continue
think they're doing a call-in show. I think it's their call-in show and their season finale, like the season finale, I believe. So they're gonna have call-in.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, definitely gonna do that. Yeah, Breezy. We missed Coach tonight, man. But he'll be back, man. Appreciate you, Levance, man. Shout out to everyone in the chat, man. You know, go Nets, go Giants. You know what I'm saying? Go Yankees, go New York City, go all New York City teams, man. You know what I'm saying? We rocking with everybody. Knicks, Nets, Mets, Giants, Jets, Yankees, man. We could not do Coach's Corner, man, but I know my man Levance, big Syracuse fan. Shout out to Syracuse. Shout out to Rutgers. You know, I just have not been on the college landscape. But yeah, no football, so time to watch some college basketball.
Baseball's
March Madness around the corner. March Madness and baseball. Spring training is around the corner too, man. So we will be giving you heavy college basketball, and of course baseball, as well as hockey. My Rangers is still in it, man. Still doing their thing. Let's go Rangers, man.
And I heard the Islanders made like a big trade yesterday for a player. I don't even know who it is, but like some big trade for the Islanders made for a big time player.
I'm about to get some info on that. Let me make a note of that.
Yeah, it was like, I don't even know who it is, but it's they traded for somebody who's actually a really good player last night. So I'm like, Islanders fans are pumped up for it.
My brother, Islanders fan. I'm gonna ask him and see if you know.
Bo Harvett, he's a captain on the Canucks.
Oh, okay. Dang, the Canucks, man. The Vancouver Canucks, man. When did they win it? Didn't they win it? Wasn't it in the 90s?
No, I don't even know the last time they were in a championship. Was it against the Rangers and they lost?
I thought it was they played the Rangers. I thought it was we beat Vancouver.
Yeah, you beat them in 1994. After you guys beat the Devils in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah.
So I mean, that might be it. I don't think they've won a championship in a very long time. And the Devils just keep doing their thing too.
Yeah, they came the closest. Oh yeah, 82, 94. Yep. 94, that was it. And then 2011, they lost in the finals.
Yeah. That team that gets there close, they get close, but they can never get over the hump.
Wow. Okay. All right, man. Little hockey nugget for y'all, man. But we're gonna get on up out of here, man. Appreciate everybody coming in, man, stopping by, man, rocking out with us, man. Go check out Syracuse at Boston College Saturday, 5 p.m. ACC Network. That should be a really good game, man. So go check that out. Of course, go check out Go Travels. Links in the description. Go check out Wise Consulting Solutions. Links in the description. And go check out Shadow Worlds, man. Links in the description, man. But Until next time, everybody, man, we're gonna get on up out of here. And peace.